Welcome everyone to episode 4, season 2, Fireside Yarns. With me, as always, we've got Reecey and Dave. Boys, how you going?
Yeah, better than that intro, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was a haphazard intro. I was like, hey everybody, here we are again.
Here we are again.
Please stay. Yeah.
I don't really want to
back
be
for last week,
but-
all you fucking like. It's not going to happen. You called everyone cunts at the start, man. We weren't even fucking 2 minutes in.
Tell
We
me
are
I'm
all
wrong.
cunts, though.
Everyone is cunts. We're all a bunch of cunts.
Never forget who you are.
Here we are, episode 4. We're back again, and not going to go so serious this week. We're still waiting on the backlash from that last episode. Hear about how wrong we got it and all the rest, but
I don't think it'll
I'm
happen.
hoping the Sunday release is going to hamper the backlash we get from that. I think we were strategic and just like, and here's what we think.
I think
there
it'll
was
be
nothing
like
strategic.
we'll get backlash in about 5 years' time when it's like
it
irrelevant
doesn't
and
matter
we get Joe Rogan.
There's no point in getting us for this now. No, you got to wait till we forget about it.
Did you hear what them cunts said about the Ukraine?
you know how fucking
Then we
wrong
can
they
come
got
back at them and say, why are you calling it the Ukraine? That's a derogatory term to people from
it.
Ukraine.
It might be Russia, but
Yeah, and we'll go back and forward, you know.
it'll be
They
shit.
want us to step down as emperors of Spotify. But we won't, because we're emperors. This is in the future. Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah,
hell, you're
call it.
ambitious. But
There's
so
nothing
be
wrong with a
bigger
bit of
than
ambition,
Jesus.
mate.
no,
Nothing
there
wrong with
isn't.
a bit of
But
ambition.
Dave's a bit too ambitious sometimes, I think.
I am. Look at the lights, lads.
Cheers to Dave.
No,
Oi! Yeah,
No,
that's
we're
the
not
drinking
even-
game. That's the Fireside drinking game. Get it up, ya pup, ya.
So tonight we're
Just
Every time
flying.
we
started,
do
already
cheers,
finished the first
hold up, look. Every time we do cheers today, we should all go into like techno mode.
Disco, mate. Yeah.
Oh shit!
He can't do it.
Oh, thank you.
What have you done?
That's burned down.
Maybe we shouldn't. Yeah.
I mean,
anyway,
while we're
if
at
you
it, cheers to
sorry,
Colin.
Reese. Oh yeah, to Colin.
To Colin.
Fuck this game.
Why are we here? Why are we here, Vinno? Are we doing anything particular this week, or are we
Yeah,
here
so-
to talk about the Ukraine again?
I was trying to get into it.
The
Fucking got cut off again. But so tonight we're doing another.
Sorry
list.
about that, mate.
I can't fucking.
No, I'm
win.
only joking. No, go for it.
So we got another list for you tonight. Not so much the music like we were doing a lot last season. We are going to do that later down the track.
Are we?
Tonight we've got our pick of movies. So these aren't in any particular order. They're not necessarily our favourites or anything like that. But we've got a list of 7 movies each. And for whatever reason that you guys have picked them, I didn't go down sort of any track like I normally do with the music stuff. Or any specific genre, anything like that. So, Reecey, what helped you pick? What was your thought process when you were picking the movies?
Ones that I like.
You're a fuckhead.
Great minds think alike. Yeah, I'm the same. Hey,
Honestly, man,
yeah.
I think it took me about 30 seconds to pick 7 movies, eh?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You were the last one. You were
I
struggling.
mean, it's... Hey?
I said you didn't pick up on it until about 2 o'clock this afternoon that this is what we're doing. So
Well, yeah,
But
no.
regardless, I only ever would have took, like, it's easy to pick 7.
No.
Like, we were genreless, right? And 7, I think 7's going to seem like a lot by the time we're through because we're all going to be bouncing back off each other. But I think 7's easy
Yeah, well,
with no genre.
when we did 7 tracks each when we did the last hip hop episode, and it went for like 3.5 hours.
Oh, we were an hour
Strap
in,
yourselves
and we were
in,
like, "My
boys
number
and
2."
girls. Get yourself some tins.
well, it's going to be interesting to see if there's some double ups actually. Because
I'm gonna say there's probably gonna be.
There has to
think
be.
we've-
I didn't go real underground
I don't
or
know.
anything.
No, neither did I. Didn't go underground at all.
Yeah.
I just
I'm
went
talking
like
my
the first.
favorite growing up movies.
Yeah.
Like a lot of this is going to be shit that might not be the best movie ever, but it might be.
Nah.
Some people, I'd say, some of mine will be on some people's top 10s for sure.
Fuck
a lot
yeah.
of people.
Oh, mine too.
Well, Reecey,
But, yeah.
speaking of you, kick it off.
I was going to ask, how do we determine?
Oh.
How do we determine? Are we
Let's
going to
go.
do Fireside Head?
Go
Like,
as the way I'm
everybody
looking
loves
at
a
it.
bit of Fireside Head, mate.
Hey.
What
It's
happens
3
in the shed?
dicks.
Fuck me.
Oh, yes.
Damn.
Yes.
Add that to the Joe Rogan compilation.
Reecey, I'm going to kick it off with you, starting from left to right. Let's have your number one.
Well, okay. Well, my number one, going in the fashion that we had to pick 7 flicks each, I'm going with the movie 7. And I don't know.
That's an epic movie.
It is a fucking epic movie.
Movie.
Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, Kevin Spacey. Probably it's definitely in my top 10. Thriller, absolute banger of a movie. Came out in 1995. Yeah, look, plenty of memes out of it as well.
What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box? It's you. Your wife. Or is it? Who is it?
Spoiler.
Oh, here. Spoiler. Should we do a big spoiler thing? Are we gonna spoil everything, everybody? So fucking.
Well, I was thinking about that this afternoon when I was looking. I was like, yeah, it's kind of hard. Like, I mean, probably, I don't know. Most of my movies are not new at all, so I mean, unless you're young and you don't even know it exists, you've probably already seen them anyway.
7 though. Some people might not have seen 7, and if you haven't,
you need to.
I think we try not to spoil it. If there is something like with a twist, we should try not to spoil it. I think 7 is something that's served well. Not
Oh fuck yeah!
getting it. Even though at the start you kind of, what they do great about this movie, which they're doing in the new Batman movie with the Riddler, that's kind of 7 inspired, kind of Zodiac inspired, is that you catch the guy at the start, and then like the 7 is one of the best, and of course it's playing off the 7 deadly sins, right?
Yep, correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are they again? It's like gluttony, fucking
Greed,
pride,
sloth,
greed,
envy,
sloth,
Pride.
Yeah, pride.
They're 7
Wrath,
you know, morals,
Yeah, you know, that
unreal
religious
movie.
stuff.
That's a fantastic.
Yeah, I thought it. I mean, I love it, and I've watched it 100 million fucking times. But I thought it was fitting because we picked 7 movies each as well. So
That is, it's themed. It's
Yeah.
serial. It's like
and
what a serial killer
is,
might do.
it is, and it's.
Is-
I want to say something, but it kind of does spoil it in a way. I mean, yes and no. Okay, I won't say the name. They actually leave an actor that's in the movie's name out of the intro credits in order to hide him from the storyline. And he actually gets mentioned twice in the final credits because of that.
There you go.
So, if
Watch 7
if you
bitches.
know who the John Doe is, then you know who I'm talking about. If you don't, fucking watch the movie.
I'm going to have to.
It's
'Cause I didn't-
mad-
I
Have you
didn't-
not seen it,
never
Vinno?
No. I didn't realise that the credits, he'd been left out of the credits.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I didn't pay attention to that. So without you telling me who it is,
You know who
I'm
it
going
is.
to have to. No.
Oh,
No, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay.
That's what I mean. I like out of the intro credits, I didn't realise that somebody had been left out. There you go. That's a cool little fact. Little Easter egg.
Yeah. It is cool.
All right,
But yeah, good movie. Good movie.
Dave, number 1.
I think this will be on any of us that grew up. I'd be surprised if it wasn't on your lists, or maybe you thought I'll leave that off my list because everyone's gonna have it. But I think this is in a lot of people's top 10 movies growing up of our age, and it is a sequel. It is not it's one of those sequels that I think is better than the original.
Ooh.
It's actually, yeah. Oh, okay, I'm
Cool
not going to
runnings.
give away because it'll give away one of my other movies too. But this is 1991 James Cameron's sequel, Terminator 2. Judgment
Oh
Day.
yes, dude.
What a fucking movie.
Man, this was
Mate.
fucking unreal. Again, building off the first one. Let's just start with Linda Hamilton, Sarah Connor. She is transformed into like a Sigourney Weaver, Ripley style badass from the first one. Her
Hell
character
yeah.
is just taken onto a different level. You know, no one believes her about what happened in the first one. I think Edward Furlong as John Connor. When you were a kid, lads, Did you not want to be fucking John Connor,
Mate.
getting as much money as you wanted out of the ATMs, riding your
Fuck
motorbike,
yes, dude.
and then
Everyone wanted the
having-
80cc fucking motorbike with like 132 gears.
Yeah, and fucking and a boombox on your shoulder playing fucking Guns N' Roses.
And a friend, a ginger friend with a mullet. Fucking oath.
with the dirtiest ginger. Maybe we shouldn't. We need to be careful with gingers out there.
Gingers have souls.
But,
It's fine.
Yeah.
They don't.
Reecey, you're a freckle. You can talk about
You're a
gingers.
freckle.
Exactly.
You're like a freckle.
I've got a bit of
You know what
red
I mean?
tinge in the beard, mate.
Yeah.
I get
And
away
I'm
with
from
it.
the land of gingers. The gingerbread men. But anyway,
Nah.
look, and another thing about that movie that I think wrapped me up in it at the age was, you wanted to be John Connor, but now Arnie was back and he's the good guy. In the first one, it's a horror, like, and Arnie's the bad guy. In this one, it's like you're a kid and you got your own badass dude, and you see in that he kind of
Everybody
uses
wanted
to shake
that.
off
Man,
some bullies.
I wanted my own Terminator.
Oh, and
Oh,
that's a spoiler.
yeah.
But again,
I was waiting
another
for you
one-
to say that.
Oi,
Chill
lads,
out,
fucking
dickwad.
Robert Patrick as T-1000 in this.
Man,
You think of a bad guy, he was fast. He was a skinny guy, but the way he acted that out, and he upped the level. Because in the first one, Arnie's kind of like a Jason. He doesn't run you know what I mean? He comes at you in the truck and all that, but like yeah. But that run from Robert Patrick as T-1000, man, and your foster parents are dead, and like, you know, all those epic scenes and in through the mental hospital and all, man. And my favourite thing about it as a kid, is there anything cooler than Arnie's naked intro in this one, when he goes into the bar and he
Oh
said,
yeah.
I need
Almost
your
puts the
bike.
cigar out on his
What
chest.
is
give
it?
me
I
your
need your
clothes, your
clothes.
boots and your motorcycle. And they burn his chest and shit, and he, oh man. Such a
I
good
need
movie,
your
everybody.
clothes, your boots, your motorcycle. Can we please put Austrian Death Machine, just a snippet, right here,
Yeah,
please?
yeah.
Can we won't get done for copyright. There's fair use. We'll allowed
Yeah.
use just that one part.
Well, this is
needs-
history, everybody.
Yeah, it needs to happen.
But what did you think? Was it a big part of? Did you use love?
Mate,
Obviously, you had to.
absolutely.
Man, I
And like
remember-
even just like the intro scene, like seeing like the Terminator stomping on the skulls, and like man, it's just the whole movie is iconic. Like, and it's just yes.
I remember the
When you
first time
see
I
the bomb go off in this one, when she's
Yeah.
holding onto the fucking.
First
Yeah.
time I saw that was, remember how they used to have like the movies on a Saturday night? They probably still do. They had the Saturday night movies.
You can do it. You can do it on every night now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it used to be. I'm talking before
Okay, I
pay
know,
TV. For anyone that's too young.
It's all you Fireside kiddies out there.
Oh, shit.
All our children.
But yeah, and we were sitting down and fucking Terminator came on, and I hadn't seen the first one at that stage. So when you said it was better than the original or the first one, absolutely. Like, because not only because I saw it first, but yeah, after going back and watching it, it just wasn't.
It's kind of good too, because even if you haven't seen the first one, you can still make sense of it because they reference it a bit, and you know, it's kind of, you don't need to watch the first one
Yeah.
in order to
It
make
doesn't
sense
matter.
of the second
It's time
one. Yeah.
traveling.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
whole
that's
idea
right,
of the
that's
movie
right.
is that all the real scary shit hasn't even happened yet, and you can only have a glimpse of it. So you're supposed to jump around, and that's the great thing about the saga, I guess. But I don't think I think they've failed to hit that Terminator 2 stride again. But I didn't mind Salvation because I was like, all right, we're in the future, and I like Christian Bale and all. It just fell short for me, and some of the other movies weren't great, and Genesis or whatever it was called. Like, and I get it, and it lost me.
I think I've just
But
got
again,
this weird.
It's a pedestal.
Like, I've got this weird. I don't know how everyone else feels, but I'm kind of over people just redoing movies that have already been done.
Yeah.
And
It's
it
a way
seems
to
to be
say,
such a
This
common
is different
theme,
because
like,
it's not redoing. They're kind of. This
They're just
isn't
building
supposed
up,
to be
like,
like
you
a
know,
sequel.
Yeah.
But
Well, in case anyone doesn't mention it, they've done it recently with Tom Cruise in a fucking classic, and I hated the Tom Cruise version.
the Mummy.
Yeah, I wasn't going to say it just in case anyone had it on their list, but yeah, The Mummy, man. Like
That could be on this.
Brendan Fraser's one, man. For me, you can't beat that.
Yeah, it was the
Mummy.
Rick
bomb,
O'Connell.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
you can't beat that. And when they went back and did it, they tried to do it darker, and it just make a new fucking movie. Like,
But
a
here's the
different
problem
genre.
again. It's
Different-
universes.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, I know.
even that Mummy movie is part of a universe. They're redoing the monster verse or whatever it is. So you had Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll in that universe.
Yeah.
So they're trying to remake a thing, but it's like, it's almost like in Hollywood right now, kind of like Reecey was saying, and then you mentioned in that perfect example, they're like, okay, we need, ever since all these comic book movies and all these shared cinematic universes happened, like, okay, we can't just make a movie anymore. So that's why I think the movie.
Yeah.
I think that's why the Joker did well. That when that came out, because it's like, okay, we have nothing to do with that shit.
Yeah.
This, we're just making a Joker movie. It's not. There's no fucking Suicide Squad, Batman. There's nothing. We're just making this. Now I think it can be done well, but
Definitely.
I
But
think it's
I think
forced.
as a
It's
whole, it's
forced,
just
right?
too many people trying to do cash grabs off movies that have already been done and shouldn't have been touched again.
It's a piss take. It's like when the music industry starts pumping out too many covers, like instead of going down the path of originals. It's easy. It's like, even though I'm not a movie maker and I'm not going to get into any of the technicalities. To me,
Oh yeah, well why don't you do it then?
Yeah. Creatively, I believe it's a piss take because the idea is already there. Yeah, it's already selling itself.
Well, that's what they do. Generally, even when we were growing up, that's what all albums did. They had that one cover as the single to be like, oh, I like that song. Oh, I like these guys. I like their sound. Okay, here's their album. It was kind of like an intro, like a lot of punk bands used to do it, in fairness. Like, and it's kind of in the tradition of punk to kind of arrange music, kind of.
I moved back to movies.
What? Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like a cover. Yeah. Like,
what I'm saying,
marketing.
I'm all for cover, but when the music industry will go through stages where they just pump out, it'll just be covers, the hot thing for the year or whatever, and that just seems to be the way the movie industry is in the last few years. But anyway, cool. All right.
What have you got, mate?
What about you, Mr.
got?
Happy? What's yours?
Oh, fuck off.
Mr. Welcome back
shit
to
nowadays.
Fireside
Here's my
Yarns.
favourite movie.
Season 2, episode 4.
Yeah, I'm tired, motherfucker. Shut up.
So am I. We're all tired.
All right. So my number one, or not, my first one, is actually, and I thought I'd start it with my favourite movie of all time.
So it is your number
since
one.
I was a kid.
So it is your number one.
It is my number one, but yeah.
But you just said it wasn't.
You said it wasn't.
I'm trying to
You said
fucking
it's your
bounce
first
around.
one
Shut up. So this one's actually a movie adaptation of a Banjo Patterson poem. And it
Man from
is-
Snowy River.
It is 1982 movie Man from Snowy River.
Fuck, man. I haven't seen that movie
Never
in
seen it.
years.
I've never seen it.
I'm not going to lie to you. I haven't seen
Man,
that
dude.
movie in years.
Yeah, well, a few years ago we were down there in the high country, and yeah, I was wanting to try and get across to see some of the sets, but yeah, I love that, man. Ever since I was a kid when I first saw that, just awesome movie.
Oi,
And what?
you know how I know you're gay?
How?
Oh, is that
Man
going to
from
be one of
Snowy.
your movies? Is that a hint to one of your movies coming up?
No, not at all. I'm just ripping.
Because that's a Paul Rudd line, isn't it?
Is
You
it?
know how I know you're gay?
Oh,
Seth
yeah.
Rogen and Paul Rudd. I think
No,
in Role
yeah.
Models or whatever that was. Whatever
No,
movie
it's
that
in
was.
40-year-old version.
Is it? Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just very random, Reece. It just didn't fit in. So
I think it did. I appreciate that. Thanks, Reece.
Yeah, no, you're welcome.
So anyway, what were you talking about? Oh yeah, so here, Man from Snowy River. I have not seen the movie. I've heard about it, and I know it was when you said Banjo Patterson, in my head just went Man from Snowy River.
yeah,
You know, like so that's through that.
I
But
can't.
what was the
Who's
movie
even
like?
in?
Is
I
it
can't
like- is
remember.
there
I
any
can't
big
remember
people
who's
in it?
the main character.
yeah.
in
So
it.
you had Kurt Douglas in it. Kurt Douglas plays two
Oh
roles
shit!
in the original.
Fucking,
yeah.
So this is old as fuck, is it? How old?
Oh yeah,
old is this movie?
1982. It was made.
Okay, so he's an old dude in it, Kirk Douglas.
Yeah,
still,
yeah.
I would say. Yeah.
So he plays.
He's old. Right?
He plays Jessica's or
The
one
man
of the,
from Snowy River.
No. He plays essentially the bad guy and the good guys. I suppose you'd say he's I don't know, role model. So he plays Spur and Jessica's father. He plays the two roles. So, and they're brothers in the movie. So.
And look, for our non-Aussie listeners, what is like, and how important is the Man from Snowy River to Australia, and like how it's part of the culture, right? You learn about it in English class.
It's definitely, it's thrown in the folk section, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know how relevant it is nowadays. I mean, for me, it'll always be a classic because I was only young when I watched that, so it was only maybe 10 years old when I first watched it.
I would have been pretty young too, to be honest.
Yeah. So to go back and watch it
would
now...
you recommend someone watch it at this age? Does it hold up, do you think?
Do you know what? I kind of do want to watch it because I haven't seen it in that long.
I'm going to watch it now because I'm going to listen. I'm going to watch all of these fucking movies that I haven't heard. And that's the first one now is Man from Snowy River. I'm going to write it down.
Do yourself a favour. It is a good one. It is a good one. And they made a second one. It was, in my opinion, nowhere near as good. They could have just stuck with the one. Yeah, I think I watched the second one once and didn't like it.
It's just that iconic scene when he's like on the horse going down the vertical fucking...
Yeah, man. And so they used that in the Sydney 2000 Olympics, the opening ceremony. And
yeah,
the
that's
soundtrack.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, so the soundtrack from that movie, when they did the horses riding and all that sort of stuff.
Shout out to Daryl Braithwaite.
Yeah, not quite, but yeah,
That's not how it's gonna. That's not how it's gonna be.
In the Olympics, it was iconic in that aspect. So it is a big part of the culture. And B.J. Patterson having the influence.
What's the first thing you think of when you hear horses?
Sorry,
what's the first thing you think of when you hear horses?
Chase Baber.
I'm glad me and you're on the same page.
What are you talking about?
Dave's just
some crazy country boy thing.
We probably can't mention it just in case.
Yeah, probably not.
They see it.
Oh, okay, all right.
We'll fill you in. I apologise.
No, it's not some country boy.
A little bit of a personal joke.
Look, everybody, look. No horses were hurt in the making of Fireside Yarns.
Well,
but some horses hurt some people, maybe.
Quickest hips in the hunter, mate.
What a lord, eh?
Moving on.
Cheers to Chase Baber.
Yeah, cheers, Chase.
I don't know who's that.
He's just a legend.
That Vinno and I used to work with.
That's all you need to know. He's a lord.
Yeah, he's a lord.
All right, moving on. Reecey, number 2.
Oh, we're up to me again.
So.
Wait, here he is, you right, Vinno.
Did you come off night shift today too?
Sorry?
Did you come off night shift today too? Are we both tired cunts? Is that what's
yeah, we're both tired cunts.
Yeah, mad. How good.
Fuck yeah.
Love dudes. The night is young. The night is young.
It is young.
Well,
it is young.
It is young. I've got half a carton in the fridge and a few other little specials, so I'm in for the long haul. You know what I mean? I'm here for a good
Lock
time.
It in, boys.
We're
pack
locking
it up.
it in.
Maybe we should do a chant or something. Go. Oh, come on. Oh shit. Oh,
instead of doing that, how about we just move on with
that? Hey, let's be honest. It's not the first time you would have woken your house up doing this podcast.
Oh man, I don't know how they get any sleep regardless.
Instead of doing a chant,
anyway,
let's move on and get Reecey's number 2.
Yeah, Reece, do a number 2 all over us, will you, please?
Oh, mate. What? All I can think of right now is that scene from Ali
What's your number 2, Reece?
Would you lay a brick for us? What, right here?
Yeah, right.
We'd be on it.
Stop dropping quotes because you're probably going to step on someone's fucking movie.
Ah, fucking whatever.
Just don't step on my dick.
So, my number 2, I think, is probably one of the greatest movies ever made.
Ooh.
It came out the year after Seven in 1996. And I saw this at the movies, and I also binge watched the absolute fucking shit out of it when it came out on VHS. Not DVD, VHS. It's a sci-fi movie. It's got Will Smith in it. It's got Jeff Goldblum in it.
Yes. Oh, perfect.
Now,
Bill Pullman.
Perfect movie.
I used to have games for this on a floppy disk. When you bought the action figures
Yes.
from these,
Yes.
you get a little
Fucking
computer,
oath.
like a computer game on a floppy fucking disk, man.
Little ID4. Man, I used to have even fucking, I'm pretty sure, like, did they do...
Duke
what were them little
Nukem and
fucking toys that used to,
Doom.
like, little mini dude, and, like, it'd be the shape of something, and you'd open it up, and it'd be
And
like a
it'd be
full
inside.
base or lab or fucking...
Yeah.
Man, there was toys galore for this
mini
movie.
micros.
Yeah.
This was a revolutionary movie, I think. It had been a
Fucking
long
oath.
time since we had a good sci-fi. But yeah, what is
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah, if you haven't
For
picked up
everybody.
what I'm putting down already, it's Independence Day, and
Fuck yes.
absolutely hands down one of my favorite movies of all time, man. Like, I only watched it again the other day, man, and I can still quote it.
Man, that
flat
gets
out. Like,
that movie gets referenced so much in other movies
Yeah.
and stuff. We were watching.
definitely.
I know it's not going to be on any list, but I was sitting there watching a movie with Oliver the other day, Storks. It's an animated one, and they reference that. You know, at the end, when the old dude's flying his jet up into the guts of the fucking the alien spacecraft, they basically ripped that scene off in that. And as soon as I saw it, I went, "Fuck yeah!" I know. Yeah. As soon as I saw that scene, I'm like, "Yeah, fuck." You know exactly what they're taking the piss out of.
Yeah. Yeah, man, it's
Fuck.
just
Have you
fucking...
did you know who was supposed to play Will Smith in that? Originally it was
Oh,
hired
I
to, but
feel
they
like-
died.
No.
It wasn't Jamie Foxx.
with me, Hail Mary. It was going to be
Tupac.
mate.
Really?
Well, he'd been doing heaps of movies. He'd be doing Poetic
Yeah,
Justice.
true.
All that shit, man. He was going to be, and yeah.
There you
Wow.
go.
Actually, I did not know
Can you
that.
imagine Tupac as a fucking fighter pilot? It would have been fucking wicked. Although it launched Will Smith. It fucking put him on a different level. He's the sci-fi dude for a long time.
Yeah.
After that.
Just,
I can't
mean,
imagine it with anybody else, to be honest. Like,
No, neither.
No,
He
I
was
can't.
just
No,
such an
I
iconic
think it's
role.
the right choice.
Yeah.
He's an amazing actor. Although I don't think before that movie, what did he do that was impressive? You know what I mean? At least Tupac had actually. I think he was further along than Will Smith in the acting because
Yeah.
he was starring and
Fresh
he
Prince?
was in bad guys in movies. Well, Fresh Prince is very different than his.
Actually,
role.
when
Oh,
did Wild
definitely.
Wild West come out?
That was 97.
What?
It was the year after. It was the
It
year
was.
after.
Yeah. I remember
Big
seeing
Will,
that
Drew
in
Hill.
fucking movies as well.
No, I'm pretty sure, was it... No, maybe it might have even been later. It might have been 99. Because Men in Black was 97. That's a pretty big haul if you did two movies in one year.
Yeah,
I don't
Wild
know.
West came
that's
out
a
before
fucking
Men in
epic
Black.
movie too.
Did it?
Oh, I think it must be after. I thought it was
I thought it was after.
Oh, you
I
might be
thought it was
right.
before. Yeah, because I
I'm doing a
remember
fact
going
check.
and
I'm
watching
doing a
Wild
fact
West in
check right
cinemas,
now.
and I think it was
Okay, look, we're just going to have to Wild West. Let me check.
So-
Came out in the year 1999. guys.
Thank
There you
you.
go.
I was
Um,
right. Woo!
Men in Black
97.
is 1997. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was fucking flat out wrong.
It's all right, Vinno. We've
We-
all been there.
Wait, the main thing is you admitted you're wrong, and we're moving on. We've disagreed. We've agreed. We're
Unlike
friends.
Dave.
Let's-
But anyway,
Vinno, you learned something today. I'm glad. I'm glad we were again. Every week we like to teach Vinno something.
Yeah.
Last week
Yeah. Last
Every-
week he learned
every
all
week.
about January 6th.
he was off a couple of years last week too.
no, last week we saw
I
Dave
think that's where our
fucking
mix-up
lose
was.
half of his mind over January 6th.
I can't stand people being wrong. I can't stand people being wrong. I can't. But you know what? You're right,
Love it.
Vinno. I need to be more accepting and to be like, I should try and change this person's mind for the better instead of having them believe that.
So you've just
I'm
accepted
trying to be
that
better.
you were wrong in your ways.
You brought up Cool Runnings, and I didn't like that. So it's one of my pet peeves. So, but anyway,
So is it safe to say that
number
Cool
2,
Runnings
Independence
is in
Day.
your
Independence
top
Day.
seven?
What was that? Sorry.
Is it safe to say that Cool Runnings is in your 7?
At one time, let me tell you, Cool Runnings would have been in my top 5 movies of all time.
Yeah, respect.
All right.
I was like a kid in a John Candy store back then. Well, anyway, who's up next? Better
You.
be someone sexy.
That'd be you.
Oh,
Oh,
there we
well.
go.
I see what
Actually,
you did there.
hang on. Before you move forward, did you see that fucking slide that he made from last week?
The dick one.
You motherfuckers. I hear everyone. I bounced
embrace
out
that.
last week. My fucking internet went down and I'm trying to fucking get in there and I know they're fucking talking about me. And you motherfuckers.
We
But little
weren't,
do
though,
they
were
know,
we?
Dave makes the fucking graphics around here. So yeah, there's a dick going in your mouth. That's alright. It's, you know what? I picked a aesthetically pleasing penis. In fairness. Yeah. Oi, we should put one in for that. Just for this.
Do you want me to
Remember that overlay. 34 minutes in.
Right, Dave.
And here in the future, that's going to be something when you're making it too easy for
This is on the internet
face
forever.
swap you with porn.
Yeah. Fucking oath it is.
But anyway, look. From talking about Davey to talking about Reecey, let's continue the talk with my number 2, Goodfellas.
Oh, jump straight
Goodfellas.
in.
Now I wanted
straight out the bat,
mob
just
movie.
coming out with it.
I'm a big Five Families in New York motherfucker. Lucchese, Bonanno, Columbo, Gambino, Genovese. I'm that. I love all that behind that. I love The Sopranos. I love The Godfather. I love fucking the original Gotti movie. Like, I love it all. Okay, I love watching documentaries about it. I listen to podcasts with Sammy the Bull Gravano to this day and Michael Franzese, like all of them. But Goodfellas to me is the most realistic, even though it's the depiction of a rat. So the whole idea of the movie is that this is the story of a rat, Henry Hill, and he was an associate of the Lucchese crime family. He couldn't be made because his mother was Irish, the same as Robert De Niro's character in it. His father was Irish, so he couldn't be a made man in the Italian Cosa Nostra, which means our thing, which separated them from the Italian mafia. But what I loved about this, I can't remember the heist that the movie's about, but it was realistic in the fact that I think The Godfather stylized mafia movies to make these guys look a little bit different than they were, but I think Goodfellas still kept that side of it, but showed you the more visceral side of it. They kept the funniness because there's some fucking scenes, the Billy Bat scene in that, with Joe Pesci, who's a fucking phenom in this movie. He's
love
fucking
Joe
unreal
Pesci,
in
man.
this movie. He's one of those little guys, but he grew up. He grew up around mafia people. Joe Pesci. If you ever watch the movie Four Seasons, that's about Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons. It's a true story, more truer than Cool Runnings. And it shows Joe Pesci. Joe Pesci is one of the ones that got them signed through the fucking and an associate with the mafia. You know, Joe Pesci's fucking the real deal, right? But either way, as Tommy DeSimone in this, he was fantastic. Ray Liotta as Henry Hill, and I took a couple of names down here. Yeah, fucking Paul Sorvino as fucking Paul Vario in this. And then you got Sopranos, Frank Vincent as Billy Bat, and Michael Imperione as Spider. Like, such a fucking good movie.
Look,
this
this is weird for me to say, but I actually don't think I've ever seen Goodfellas.
Oh man,
And
and watch Goodfellas now.
That's
Watch
something
it.
that's
It's
like
with this
right
plot.
up my alley because
Everybody-
I love all those gangster movies, man. Like,
This is the best one ever. It's in my
Yeah.
opinion, the best one ever. And it's based on a true story, but told as by a rat, Henry Hill. But fantastic movie, fantastic.
so
movie.
Eat and Cool Runnings really do have something in common, both based on true stories.
Yeah.
But here, but this one doesn't lie. This is the story of a rat. So take everything with a grain of salt. In fact, you know it's not true. It's beautiful.
Well, you can never believe a rat.
Yeah, there's a scene in it with Frank Vincent and Joe Pesci when he kind of gets it, like a little revenge scene in it. And what I love about it, and I won't go too far, Reece, I want you to watch Goodfellas. But the way they go through such a crazy experience of, say, killing someone and burying them, something like that. The way the jokes they talk about it, the normalcy around the kitchen table, and also the way it's kind of like a way of life. It's a fantastic movie. It's funny, it's shocking, and it's also gives you a little glimpse into that life of Cosa Nostra. But Vinno, you've seen Goodfellas.
Not
Yeah,
La
mate,
Coca
I have,
Nostra,
and
which is this
I'm
dope
lucky
thing,
Reece.
guys.
Yeah, because La Coca Nostra is Coca, the hip hop band, and
This
that's our dope
thing
thing.
of ours.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, what a bad! Check out La Coca Nostra, everybody. If you want a proper supergroup, that's Cypress Hill.
I'm glad
and
Reece
Psycho
said
Realm
that he hadn't
and
heard
non-fiction.
it because I was about to fucking drop
How's
what would
Spain?
have been a spoiler. So, but yeah,
In Goodfellas. Yeah.
yeah. So I won't go into it. Watch
Is it a
it.
Joe Pesci spoiler?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an epic scene.
It-
That's an epic. Watch
It
the
was a
movie.
scene that
Unbelievable.
just separate, like, splits you, because
Yeah.
the reason for it
Okay.
happening, you're like, okay, yeah,
Joe
probably
Pesci
deserve
is
that,
vicious
but then
in
you're
this
just
movie.
like, fuck, that's pretty full on. So
Like, yeah, watch because Joe Pesci is a love. All the characters, you forget that like these guys are the worst of the worst scum, and every now and then they let you see little scenes to be like, hold on.
pardon me.
Look, what I'll do, I'll give away one scene that's like a comedy scene in it. It's where they're all around a table and it's a meme right now, and everyone's laughing and joking and they're all they're like, oh, you're a funny guy, and he goes, what do you mean I'm funny? And everyone just settles down because like, oh shit, he's gonna take us. You know the way if you're in a pub and you piss off a drunk person and you have to dance around him. The weight of being a made man and someone like Tommy D. Simone, and I think that's an improvised scene by Joe Pesci when he's like, what do you mean funny guy, clown? He's like, oh look, I wasn't meaning it, and he goes, I'm just joking with you. And it kind of it shows you how the anxiety of being around these type of murderers is. Like, they're not surrounded by friends that really respect them. They're feared, like you know
They're
what I mean?
bad
And
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
and this was an improvised scene that he had seen happen with real Goodfellas or Wise Guys. It was written, but yeah, it's based on a book, Wise Guy, and it's about Henry Hill. Check it out, everybody. Goodfellas.
Yeah,
Good
fuck
movie.
yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right, moving on to my number 2. So this is one that was made in 1995, and it was supposed to be a series of 3 movies. They only made 2, and after the second one came out, they basically put the third movie on hold, or they still had the license for it, and they set it aside. And it's only recently been used, and that movie made the third one that it was allowed to be, that they signed for. But the first one was a cracker, and it was the first time that we'd seen a video game get put on the big screen, and in a way that it really did it justice.
Is this
And-
a Jean-Claude Van Damme?
No.
Oh.
This is
That's
one
what I
that
thought, but
when
it
we
doesn't have
heard
a second movie.
when we heard that it was going to be made into a movie, we weren't sure at the time how gruesome it was going to be, what characters they were going to have in it, because there was several video games of the series out at that time, and there were so many characters they could have had. But my number 2 is the 1995 Mortal Kombat.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah.
That new movie's not the trilogy though. That's like a
It's
reboot,
not,
isn't it?
no.
Yeah.
So, but
I can't believe I didn't even... None of
It is
that
the third
new
one.
one's
So when
awesome.
Mortal Kombat Annihilation came out, because it was such a failure, they had a license for 3 movies. They were going to make a series. And after
Annihilation was pretty average.
Yeah, well, look, at the time I thought it was fantastic, but
Oh,
because
yeah,
it
I still
failed
loved
at
it
the
as a
box
kid,
office,
but-
yeah, they went, well, we're not going to make the third. So that one that's recently come out is technically the third movie on that license. Whether they will make more,
So it's the third from the producer, from the production company, but it's a rebrand.
It's a
right?
rebranded,
Like
yeah,
a brand
it's not-
new, yeah.
it's not a
Because I
follow-on
really
from
like
the
that
first two.
third one.
Yeah.
That third one in some ways is better than the first one to me, but in a lot of ways, oh man, like the original Mortal Kombat from the soundtrack, bro.
Yeah.
To the fucking
Oh, yeah.
to the
Well, they-
aesthetics and everything,
Mortal
very different.
Kombat. Dun, 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 dun.
Remember the video clip
Oh,
that they
man.
had for that when it came out? Fuck.
So good.
But yeah,
Yeah,
it
that was epic, man.
seeing that for the first time, seeing Sub-Zero and Scorpion, man, on the screen of Goro.
But I think, like, the biggest thing
Goro,
with, like...
I think they did Goro great in the old one, but I think they
Yeah,
did him shit
definitely.
in the new one. And I think
Yeah.
in the new one they did Sub-Zero and Scorpion well better than the original.
Well, that's funny. So
In the
they've
new
gone
one.
back to the original story for Sub-Zero and Scorpion, which is fucking cool.
Yeah,
Because there was a YouTube series that was happening and telling the story about in the history of Sub-Zero and Scorpion. So the fact that
did
they've
well,
put that in
didn't
the
it?
new movie, yeah, is cool, because it's staying true to that lore, I suppose, and that canon. But yeah,
Do you remember how, like,
Revolutionary, that
badass you
original.
felt as a kid, though? Like, when... Like, I don't know about you, but I think I first played Mortal Kombat on, like, Sega Master System,
Sega.
maybe?
I
or
think I had Mega Drive. Mega Drive is
Yeah.
when I played Mortal
Mega
Kombat.
Drive,
I can
yeah.
remember the fucking the cartridge. You know,
Yep,
cartridge,
yep.
motherfucker. I remember it was black with the orange Mortal Kombat insignia on it,
yeah.
and that was
Fuck
all it
yes.
was. It was Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Might have been Mortal Kombat 2. I don't know, like, because there was a really old Mortal Kombat, wasn't there? It might have been on the
Master
By the
System.
Mega Drive, was it the 2 or 3 or something like that? I can't remember.
No,
But I loved it. It might have even just been Mortal Kombat.
I don't know. It originally
trying to
came out
remember.
as just
it only had
before
the
it was on
original,
consoles. It was on the like an
PC.
arcade system. No, arcade system.
Yeah.
Oh, arcade system.
Because they didn't have the games on the PC to that level at that stage. So
That's still big. Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter competitions.
Fuck yeah, man.
I actually know a guy who's the MC for my wedding, Steve Zahetna. That motherfucker was a champion Street Fighter fucking. He used to go around to competitions with their fucking arcade controller.
yeah, right.
That's some serious shit. But I'd imagine Mortal Kombat, I'd say it's the same. Because
It's
that's epic.
competitive.
I even prefer Mortal Kombat to Street Fighter.
Oh yeah. Oh man,
It was just
I
so
played
dark.
the shit out of that game as a kid. But man,
yeah.
I think the big thing with the kid, like with us as youngins, like obviously because we all wanted to see Mortal Kombat because we all played the game, like, and even though it might have been a shit at the box office, but like, I think the main reason that I was so excited for the second one even was just like, we get to see new characters, you know what I mean? And by that stage, like, I think Mortal Kombat 3 or Mortal Kombat Trilogy had come out. So it had, like, all those, you know, extra characters which they started introducing into Annihilation as well. Like,
Yeah. When Trilogy came out, man, you got like Kintaro and you got fuck, who else?
Ermac and Smoke, Cybot, fucking...
You had all the ninjas on there, didn't you? You
man.
had like Smoke,
Yeah, man.
Reptile. Yeah, it was fucking... It was
Trilogy was probably my favourite.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was
Of the
probably my
older games.
favourite Mortal Kombat game. Yeah, definitely.
Because it also had all the animalities. The first time they'd sort of,
Babalities
all
and shit.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Man,
Yeah, man.
I fucking love Mortal Kombat, man.
That's an epic movie.
So the first
Yeah.
one. First Mortal Kombat,
Yeah.
And like as I said, I loved
Classic.
Annihilation. I thought it was cool as a kid. If I went back and watched it now, I'd probably take it for what it is. But at the time, and it might have been that expectation that, you know, you've got all these extra characters and stuff, and just
But a
live
lot
up
of
to
those movies,
expectations.
even the original, I didn't see it in the movies. I couldn't have watched the movies. So what Mortal Kombat was to me was, I got it from the video shop. Like that was like that was like when you got, remember you used to get like 5 for the week or whatever.
Yeah.
That'd be one that you're like, let's get fucking Mortal Kombat. You know what I mean? And then I might have had it, you know, and then I'd play it to fucking annoy my parents.
Yeah.
Always playing, you know. It was one of those movies. It was a cult following. It didn't have a lot of box office, but people fucking watched the shit out of that.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Definitely.
It became a cult classic. That's how they were able to fund those other movies.
Yeah,
All right.
Fuck yeah.
Number
yeah.
3. Let's move on to 3s. Reecey, what do you got for us?
I'm going to take it back a few years. Back to 1977.
Goddamn!
Goddamn! This was the first movie of probably... It'd have to be probably the biggest franchise in the world, I reckon. Maybe. It's definitely up there.
You'll never stop winning.
Oi, I love Winnie the Pooh.
77, biggest franchise ever.
Was obviously the first one that I saw, that I was introduced to, and I was instantly hooked. I've recently, as Hannah hadn't seen any of these, started watching all of them while we were in isolation with COVID.
It's what I think it is. I think it's the third movie of that.
It's actually, it's the fourth. It's the fourth movie in the series.
Oh, yeah, but it's the
But
first.
it was the first one ever made.
Yeah.
And it's Star Wars: A New Hope, directed by
That's my favourite Star Wars movie too.
Yeah.
Everyone tries to
That's
go
not what I was
Return of the
thinking.
Jedi Strike Back. They're amazing. But A New Hope to me is pure Star Wars. Pure.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
New Hope is definitely my favourite. I think Return of the Jedi is probably my second favourite. I think.
Yeah.
I always used to like, when I was younger, I don't know if maybe it's just because when I rewatched this the other week, like I actually, I don't know. It's hard for me to
I
pick.
hate Ewoks. I don't like the
Nah,
Ewoks.
I love the battle at the end of Return
Bored
of the
the fuck
Jedi.
out of me.
I love,
Exactly.
the big battle.
That's the big part. Yeah.
Well, the ending, the fucking ending.
Yeah. It's just this. Yeah. As a series, as this is the intro. Obviously, if you were back in our day, now it's probably a little bit different, I suppose. You know, with the franchise being what it is now since Disney took it over. I still like the newer ones. Do I compare them to these? No. Like, I think...
Do you compare them to the George Lucas prequels? Are they
Revenge
better?
of the Sith is actually probably up there with one of my
I even don't mind
favourite.
Phantom Menace. I don't mind Phantom Menace.
Yeah,
When I watched
Phantom-
Phantom Menace in the cinema,
Bro,
I was
Revenge
like,
of the
this
Sith is
fucking awesome.
fucking dark, dude. It's
Dude,
like...
the last half an hour or to an hour
Yes.
of Revenge of the Sith, it might be, to me, top tier Star Wars.
100%.
There's a
100%
couple of
agree
little
with you.
cheesy bits in it
Look,
that I'm like, I
I'll
wish they
agree.
had been a bit better with their lines. But
What
Revenge of the Sith,
fucked it- what? And I'll agree there. Like that last half an hour, it's fucking dark.
It's fucking brutal, man.
it's
But then
full
they,
on, man.
then they fuck it,
and they
right?
link
In
it up
my
to New
opinion-
Hope. Oh,
My
man,
opinion, they
it's
fuck
the
it the
sons.
moment that Darth
Tatooine.
Vader stands there after he finds out and goes, no! Like, you've just fucking killed it, cunts. Like,
Yeah, like that's what I mean.
Yeah.
There's some cheesy bits in there that are like, why'd you do that?
They could have
But even
easily
here,
just not done that, and it
that
would have
trilogy
been
had its
fucking-
bits. I think,
Hey?
like I like Kylo Ren, I like Darth Maul. I think in Phantom Menace, I
Darth
thought
Maul.
like Darth
And he
Maul
hardly
was
says
fucking
fuck all.
savage. Yeah, but that's kind of the thing.
In the
You know what I mean?
movies, have
Like
you gone back through and watched the animated
Yeah,
series?
yeah, he's deep. He goes deep. As soon as you go between Return,
doesn't-
the
Yeah, I won't
Clone
say that.
Wars,
That's a
he's-
spoiler.
yeah, it's not a spoiler. He lives. He lives. Except for he's just cut in half. He's cut in half. But anyway, that's all we'll say because that only spoils you up until Clone Wars or what's the TV show?
Rebels.
No, but what's the TV show before that?
You got Clone Wars?
Yeah, wasn't he in Clone Wars as well, or did he come back in Rebels?
Oh, I thought it was.
See, I haven't watched the TV
The
series yet.
animations. Oh, yeah. To be
I might
honest, I
have
haven't
to.
watched all of it
I
either.
might have to go back through.
But
and watch
anyway, guys, New
Well,
Hope.
we're-
Holy
yeah,
shit.
New Hope is...
Holy
yeah,
shit.
It's just fucking
And that
awesome.
started everything.
Yeah.
Did.
Like,
that was
that
Hey,
might be
man,
one
like-
of the most influential movies of all time. Maybe easily the most.
cult
And
following
considering,
from the
like,
first
when it
movie.
was made, man, like, it's just epic. I mean...
Yeah, all models and shit,
It's
man.
cult
That's fucking-
following,
Yeah,
but also
it's fucking amazing.
success on a wider scale. Like,
Like,
it's
remember
number
even
one,
when-
like Reecey was saying, yeah.
Remember even when the... It's so hard to reference because it's like the new three, or the second lot of three, which are actually the first three. When they came out,
7,
like,
8,
when was
and
the
9.
first one? Like 99 to 2005 or whenever it was
Oh,
that those
1, 2,
three
3,
movies were
yeah.
released. Remember they went back and like remastered and redid and added parts into the originals.
Yeah,
it's like-
they
it's
changed
hard-
Greedo. They,
it's hard-
They
it's hard
changed Two
to-
Shot first.
Yeah, it's hard to
Yeah.
sort of like, even when Hannah and I were rewatching it. Well, I mean, not for her. I was rewatching, but she hadn't seen it. But I was like, these bits weren't originally in the originals. You know, like this was added in like years later, and yeah, I don't know, man. It's just such an epic series, but
Yeah. But
We-
that was George Lucas before he went to Disney who did all that.
that's right.
That's
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
That's why people are angry at George Lucas. You see, everyone's gonna hate Star Wars because of how that original trilogy of Episode 4, 5, and 6
Yeah,
is so special to a lot of people that
Definitely.
anything else you kind of do after. However, Rogue One, guys, I think Rogue One was epic. Rogue One
That
was
was
one of
a
the best
fucking-
Star Wars movies ever.
That
man.
was a fantastic.
Yeah.
So we haven't
filler
watched that one
for
yet.
Yeah.
Oh
watch that,
man. Okay, I won't say shit.
I've
It's a
seen it.
fucking
I've
amazing
seen it. Hannah has.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
Get her to
yeah,
watch
'cause
them in
we watch it
chronological order, man, because
yeah.
Well,
that
I wanna
if
do
she
that.
watches that,
We're-
then once she gets to A New Hope, for us there was so many questions when, especially
Yeah,
when Mon
no, well,
Mothma's
see,
sitting there
we're
talking
up to-
about all of that, you know.
well, that's what we've been doing. We've been watching the movies in chronological order, and we've only got one to go. So she's seen from the very beginning, Phantom Menace,
Phantom
all
Menace.
the way through to The Last Jedi. Or is that the last one? The second last one? The Return? I can't remember the names. of the
Which
newest
one?
Ones.
The second last of the
The
newest,
second last
the
one.
latest.
The second last of the newest ones. Yeah. So that's where we're up to. So we've got one more to go, but we.
and then you got the 9.
Yeah, and then we've got
Nice
like
thing.
Rogue One and Solo and all the TV series and all and like
I wonder if it's even better to do it chronological, or do you think it was good kind of, because I feel like the way we watched them, kind of, it was like the beauty of it was going back to find out what really happened. Do you know what I mean?
that was
Like,
the beauty. That was
am I being lied to by fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi or Ben Kenobi? You know what I mean?
But for us, you see, we didn't have a choice.
Now you're gonna know that Darth Vader, who Darth Vader is immediately.
Yeah.
See, for someone coming into
we
the
didn't have a
series
choice.
new, I think you've got to start from the Phantom Menace, right? Because for us, and I think this is what Reecey was about to say, we didn't have the choice, right? So you started at A New Hope, and there was all those questions about how the fuck did we get here, and we didn't have a choice. We weren't able to just go back and watch that. Whereas, I think almost that magic, I suppose you'd call it, has gone. If someone was to come into that series now,
Definitely.
because you've
And
got
that's
the
why we
option
decided to do it
made
in
to be
chronological
watched
order.
in that order, though.
Yeah.
Because he
See, 'cause we were
specifically
tossing up-
did that. After
We
the
were tossing
second
up
movie.
between watching it in chronological order, including, so like when you look into it, like you should actually watch like the Solo series before you get into the originals.
That's
And I
what I
sorta
mean by
said,
watching
like-
it in chronological
Yeah.
order, like not
But, so
when they came out, but in
no,
The
that's
story,
right. But
the
like,
timeline.
but I'm
Story.
talking about like, I mean, I sort of said to Hannah like, I want to watch just purely the Star Wars movies, not the offshoots, not Rogue One, not Solo. I said because to me, I want you to get to know what Han Solo's like before we can go and
That's
watch
what
his
I mean.
story kind of thing. But
That's what
I
I
want
mean,
you to
yeah.
understand. But I want you to. Like, I know what you're trying to say, Dave, because for us, like, we obviously watched parts 4, 5, and 6 first. We all grew up and saw that when we were kids.
Well, we got surprised by the
Yeah.
Luke. Whereas now
Yeah.
they're gonna be like, oh, Luke's gonna freak for 3 movies or what? Or no,
Yeah.
however, you know what I mean?
I
Like,
get
they're
it,
gonna
I
be
get it, but like,
Oh, why is Luke? It's gonna be cringe now when he's all after Carrie Fisher. But anyway,
and Hannah had heaps to say about that.
yeah, that's what I mean. Now it's gonna be like no. Whereas
yeah,
before you
yeah.
kind of skip that, and it's like, oh, maybe these two would be good. Now you're kind of living it like you're finding everything out because I feel that way. It's like it's this story is Luke Skywalker. And then you learn the story. But when you learn the story of Luke Skywalker, then you're like, holy shit, I want to know how it
There's
got
so
to here.
much more.
You know, but again, look, but maybe I'm just, that's my way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the way we like it, so I don't like change or
this
whatever.
is I
So
suppose this is a
maybe-
perfect opportunity for we'd have a lot of people in the comments that watch that love Star Wars as well.
Which way?
Get in there and tell us how you'd prefer to watch them and when you first started watching them, because that's an awesome call out early, Reece, like in Star Wars movies. It's
Yeah.
Fucking Star
it's a
Wars.
full
man.
series.
I
New
fucking
Hope as
love
well. I
Star
love
Wars,
that
man.
you
And like,
said
I'm
New
not
Hope.
I'm not like a fucking
Snob.
like I'm not a Star Wars head. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know every single little detail.
Me neither,
But
mate.
that's my childhood, dude. Like, I've watched Star Wars since I was a kid, and I will still happily, go through and rewatch them every once. Man, like just the movies alone, to watch them all, like all 9 episodes or 10 episodes or whatever it is.
Yep.
It's like 26 hours, dude. Like,
Yeah.
that's just the movies. That's without the TV shows or the side stories or anything. Like, if you want something to do,
There's books
fuck
and
Lord of the
everything
Rings.
in them, yeah.
Get onto Star Wars.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Moving on, because we can sit here, I think, and talk about this all night if we wanted to.
Oh, we could definitely talk about Star Wars all night.
Dave, what are we up to? Number 3? Threes?
Well, this one is not. I guess this is in a cinematic universe in the sense that it's based on something that many movies have been made about. And instead of it being a George Lucas movie, one of George Lucas's favorite or his best friends in directing is Steven Spielberg. And this is a Steven Spielberg movie from 1993 that has not spanned a franchise
Ooh.
at all. And I think you'll know when you realise that although there are many movies made about this subject, there will not be a number 2 of this movie. This movie is Schindler's List. Oh. Man, I watched
Heavy
this as
movie,
a child.
dude.
This shocked me as a child. I
Why
watched
is it
it
in
too
black
young.
and white, Mum?
Oh man, I
So
love
there
that.
is
That was a
only-
specific.
There is
He
only
did that
one character
specifically
that's in
for a
color,
reason.
and that's the girl in
The little
red coat.
girl in the red dress. Yeah, man, that is epic. That movie for me, I remember as a child being frozen in me bed, not me bed, in an armchair. I was watching with my dad, and I was frozen, and I was watching the separation of the sick and those who could work in the Krakow concentration camp, and it was real naked people. It was in black and white. It was shocking to me. They were malnourished people, their children, and then the scene with their kids been taken. Like, look, I'll wind it back a little bit. Like, so for anyone who doesn't know, Schindler's List is set during World War II with the Nazis, and Oscar Schindler's like a great Gatsby type figure. He's more like a businessman and a socialite rather than a true Nazi political or military person. And what he did was he made contacts in the Nazi party and he benefited off the slave labor in the Jewish ghettos in manufacturing. But it was through this and getting to know the people closely and through black marketing that he actually began to empathize with the Jewish people. And it's the semi-biological true story about Oscar Schindler. And it's very, very, it was done in Spielberg intentionally. He wasn't trying to make this the gritty real thing, like, and that's a reason why he chose not to have it in black and white, to not have the blood in the streets and the grotesqueness of it all, because it's very serious subject, particularly at the time, and for himself as a Jewish person, and his family survived the Holocaust. But Oscar Schindler empathized with the Jews and eventually ultimately saved them by creating a list that was who he disguised as manufacturers he needed to work for the war effort by building shells. So he was able to keep people from going to concentration camps long enough for when the war ended. And ultimately there's stories about them only producing like dud
munitions and stuff.
So yeah, it's very controversial ultimately about this person, because he was a Nazi and he did benefit from slave labor for a long time. But this movie itself, full of amazing actors. Ben Kingsley was phenomenal in this as Ishak Stern, as like a Jewish confidant and bookkeeper for Oscar Schindler. But for me, and I'm getting goosebumps thinking of this,
big
was
dick
Ray
bastard.
Fiennes. Man, Ray Fiennes as Amon Goeth, who was the fucking commander. He was the commander at fucking in Krakow, Polish. Are you saying? Did you say I'm freezing?
Who?
Did Reece? Did you say I was freezing or something?
No.
But Amon Goeth, yeah, he was the fucking commander at a Polish concentration camp, and some of the scenes with him, he really delved into the evilness of that empire. And Schindler's List.
So did you say Ralph Fiennes?
What are you going to say?
Did you say Ralph Fiennes? Is that who was in it?
Ray Fiennes, yeah, he plays Amon
Yeah.
Goeth. Have you never seen Schindler's List, brother?
Yeah. No, yeah. Just my mum frosts Ralph Fiennes is always like,
Man, he's one of the best actors on earth, and in this, man,
His performance
Sickeningly
in Schindler's List made it so believable, and you hated him.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what that
The
character.
balcony?
You're supposed to hate that character. Yeah, the balcony scene, man. That's what I'm talking about. If it doesn't make you physically feel sick, knowing that that sort of shit did happen, even
the
though
dehumanization.
It's
of
a sad movie,
people.
man.
it is, man.
Oh
It's-
man,
it's a very
it
confronting
caught me.
movie in the sense that if you watch that and then don't feel something for that, or you get these people that deny the Holocaust even happening, but to sit back and think about that happening, and some of those events, yes, being truthful, and that doesn't make you sick, then get the fuck out, because
Hey, there it is.
it's
Yeah, finally, not just a whiskey.
Yeah, you know what? Cheers to that. I'll cheers to that.
yeah,
Cheers to that. But
Because
another
it's,
thing, I think the
yeah.
Germans were the leaders for a long time in art and music and culture and the aristocracy at the time. So they're seen as the most cultured people. So for those of us to become the most barbaric and sick and dehumanizing of us all was shocking. And I think that personified nearly, like it painted a picture for me that really opened my eyes to the tragedy. And like you said, the little red girl.
yeah.
Because a couple of scenes with her, there's 2 scenes with her, and they're shocking, because of what it means, and unreal. And another thing, it's the ending of it. And I'm gonna give this away because obviously everyone knows the ending of the Holocaust. But what Schindler's List does that's beautiful is a fade at the very end in the credits. They have all the actors that are leaving now and they're liberated. They've just been liberated by Russia and they're walking to the nearest town and they're like, where do we go? And they're like, oh, don't go there. They hate you there still. It's like, will you go here? No. And he goes, look, go that way. That's the best thing. And it's their march to where they've just been freed and liberated, and it's their march, and it fades from the actors to the real people in real life. Unreal.
Yeah.
Watch the end of Schindler's List.
Classic.
And you see the real people putting down the rocks on Schindler's grave
In Israel.
It was in Israel under it was the Garden of whatever it is, Remembrance or something.
Yeah.
Whatever it's called. Epic, beautiful, and then Liam Neeson at the end puts the rose. Schindler's List shocked me as a kid. I'll watch it over and over again.
Yeah.
But it's to remind me of the.
Yo, I haven't
how
seen that in
powerful it
a
is.
long time. Like, I'm probably due to
holds up,
rewatch that
mate.
bit. It's, I think, probably the age that I watched it, I probably didn't really understand it. You know what I mean? Like, it's.
Well, it did me neither. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely something to go back and watch once you're older.
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially
100%.
if you. So I watched it years ago, but then after a few years of just out of pure interest, looking into World War II and all the events leading up to it, and throughout the war, and then delving more into the Holocaust side of things. So then go back and watch Schindler's List. It hit differently as well.
Yeah.
Sort of
When you got to
knowing
just
once
a
you
small
know more,
story.
the more you know. Yeah, the more
Yeah.
powerful it is, I think. But yeah, fucking hell, Schindler's List. There you go.
Epic movie. Probably I would put that as number one for me if I had to rearrange my shit.
Yep.
I'd put that as number one.
Fuck yeah. Pardon me. All right.
You are pardoned. That's a Schindler's List quote. You are pardoned. Remember that? And then he,
I'm pretty
we all
sure
know how
that
ends.
line's been in a few movies.
Yeah, but that's the Ray Fiennes.
Yeah,
Remember, he's trying to be. He's
That's
like,
right.
Is
the
it
real
Rafe or
power
is it Raph?
in the
I don't know.
pardon. It was Rafe, isn't it? Rafe
I don't know.
Fiennes.
Well, I just growing up, I always used to remember Mum calling him Raph, like Raph Fiennes, like Raphael.
It might be Raph. Fuck it might be. It's definitely not Ray or Ralph. I think Ralph's a different guy or some shit.
That's probably not
I'm
pronounced
Ralph
any
Fiennes.
of
I
those ways.
choose you.
It's not Miss Fiennes from The Nanny.
All right.
Oh, and she is fine.
Oh, Fran Drescher's one of my top 5. She's on my list of chicks I could fuck. She's on my list, man.
You could.
Still to this day. I would, man. I'm hoping
Could or would?
Lads, if you're smart, if your wife allows you like 5 people you can fuck, pick an older board, because there's gonna be one day when Fran Drescher
I'm with you on
and
that.
me
I
are
reckon.
on a level.
Yeah.
I've got
she's
Susan
fine.
Sarandon on mine. I got Michelle Pfeiffer. I feel like Michelle Pfeiffer's probably got another 15, 20 years before I'm on that level. And I've got to really get in shape if I want to do that. But I'm hoping I'm going to follow her and I'm going to get you. No, I'm not going to Too
I love
far
that.
again, everybody.
No,
But here,
well,
look,
no,
everybody.
fuck it.
Let's hear Vinno's number 3 or whatever the
Right,
fuck
number
we're on
3.
now.
Yeah, where are we?
Dave,
Are we
or
3
number
still?
4?
Number 3, yeah.
Yeah, and then we got to go take a break / whiskey of the week.
Yeah.
gonna
We're
have,
gonna do a bit of a
Scotch,
whiskey
yeah.
week.
So
Fill up this shit. I've got one.
Dave mentioned it before about the sequel being better than the original. This is very much the case in my opinion. For this, it was a series
In
of
my
3.
opinion.
Right. This one was made in 1991. It's a second installment of the original live-action series of
Live action.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2:
Oh,
Secret of the Ooze.
Secret of the Use is the best. Oh,
Yeah.
I get number 2 and 3 for me.
Nah,
Have a special place in my heart.
3
yeah,
was
2's the best.
3 was cool, but I still like.
One
hands
was
down
awesome,
2.
but it's a bit dark and scary. But 2 was the best Turtles
Yeah.
movie. It is the best.
Fuck
It is the
yeah.
best.
So yeah,
Go
out
Ninja
of,
Go.
if I had to pick out of those 3, 2 absolutely. But I loved the whole all 3, and yeah, we've talked about this a fair bit, like when we did
Best
the toys
intro.
episode. Yeah,
Best intro when
Fuck
they're
yeah.
when they're downstairs. Remember when the pizza guys get he comes, he breaks a robbery, and then the turtles come out. Oh man,
you don't see it.
that's
Yeah,
so
it
good.
just all the lights go out and shit. Yeah,
so
fuck yeah.
fucking good, man.
and then
And the music.
vanilla ice at the end.
Yeah,
Right,
go
yeah.
Ninja Go, Ninja Rap. Have you ever seen a turtle get down? Oh man, you ever seen a man dance like He dances like an angel, and you know he was up there with Tupac for me.
Wasn't that his thing into the he was a dancer before he was a rapper, right?
Here's the thing. Vanilla Ice, a lot of people shit on Vanilla Ice, but Vanilla Ice is...
He was pretty well known breakdancer, right?
He was, before all that Ice Baby shit, you're right, Reece. He was a well-respected breakdancer, and because dancing used to be a big part of hip-hop and was well-respected. And you're seeing that with the Big Daddy Kane KRS-One versus, man. They brought that shit back. And Crazy Legs and all that. But fucking, man, how good is that, Vinno? That's a great fucking choice, mate.
Fucking oath.
So yeah,
man, I remember like
Toka and Razor. Yeah,
that's
sorry, Reece.
So
no.
We all loved that. Like, us boys growing up, we loved that fucking movie so much. We used to have 2 turkeys, man, and we named them both Toka and Razor, and they were the most psycho motherfuckers. Like they lived up to the name perfectly. Because fuck turkeys.
I always was pissed off that they weren't Bebop and Rocksteady. Do you know what I mean?
Fuck turkeys.
No, fuck turkeys in general. Turkeys are cunts, man.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Gobble, gobble.
But yeah, I think, Bebop and Rocksteady. That's like when
the cartoon
first came out, I couldn't understand why he was calling them Toka and Razor. I was like, what the fuck?
I think it was a licensing issue. There was something that happened between the TV show, the video game, and the movie series. So that's what I think, because originally
I didn't know that.
Turtles was some comic. It was a comic, and then someone else had the cartoon rights to it or something. But they couldn't do Toka and Razor because Bebop and Rocksteady, I'm pretty sure, are like original. They're either original to the animated or original to the comics or something.
They're in the comics.
But they had to do it as Toka and Razor, and that was their Bebop and Rocksteady instead of a rhino and a pig.
What's the Ninja Turtles movie, the animated one with like Krang and all that? That's Bebop and Rocksteady in that.
Like, they're in that.
In the remakes.
I'm not sure of the timeline.
I only watched it a little bit.
Pre or
cool,
post?
1989 I think, was when the first episodes dropped of the animated series.
Of the animated series, yeah.
No, so remember the animated movie? They did the movie. What was the movie?
Animated movie? Do you mean like a CGI movie?
I loved it, man. No. It was proper like cartoon. It was sick. I used to watch it flat out when I was a
you're
kid.
right. You might be right. Yeah. They made like feature-length animation Turtles movies.
Yeah.
Krang was in the TV show though as well. He was in that big bodybuilder robot in Underpants.
Yeah, that's right.
Dude.
Yeah. Well, in the movie as well.
Technodrome. Do you remember the Technodrome?
Yeah.
I used to have. I never had the Technodrome as a toy, but my neighbour had it. And I was so fucking jealous. I did have the van though. You know the van where the side would come out, the Turtle Mobile or whatever the fuck was called.
Fuck yeah.
The shell, fucking.
Even the Foot Soldiers, purple.
The Foot. Yes, the Foot Clan.
Yeah.
So they're mentioned in the first of the animated series because they're where they've got their base in the fucking like that old warehouse type thing.
But they're just called the Foot.
The
TV shows, and I think that has to do with licensing as well.
There you go.
I watched some documentary one time because I grew up with those live action turtles. For me, that to me was the coolest shit on earth.
Fuck yeah,
coolest shit.
Loved it. I've still got all of the animated series. I had them come out on
action
DVD.
Figures, man, turtles.
Fuck, so good. Anyway,
look, they had us.
Yeah. What we might do
I'm
now
not gonna lie. There's some. I mean, I know we're only 3 in. But I'm kind of shocked by Dave already that there's something that hasn't been mentioned in any of the entire universe of. And
there'll be mentions.
It will be.
I'm sure there will be.
I know what you're talking about. Are you talking about this shit? You talking about this shit?
I'm looking behind you.
That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen.
There's a lot you can choose from.
What you expect?
Yeah, there's a lot you can choose from.
There is a lot.
There's a lot.
And that's why I deliberately didn't.
The Night's Forecast.
Probably.
It's for freeze.
I reckon there's 4 movies that could have been in this, and I chose one.
Now don't forget.
4 movies I could have put in this.
Don't forget, this is only the first episode of the series in this genre too. So there will be more.
Yeah, we're only starting movies. This is just to lubricate the series.
Yeah. And we will have guests on this, so there's going to be a lot more. Anyway.
Hey, Vinno.
Can I get someone to cue some music?
A whiskey of the week? Hey, everybody. It's that time of the fucking episode again. That time of the week. And instead of a scotch of the week this way, let me introduce you to a special this week. Vinno's Whiskey of the Week. Hit that music.
This week, as Dave just mentioned, we've gone with a whiskey instead of a scotch. And
With a whiskey. A whiskey.
A whiskey.
Which whiskey did you choose and why?
This week I've gone something from your side, your part of the world, Dave, and we've gone with
Canberra whiskey, everybody.
Tullamore.
Tullamore
Oh,
Dew.
bro. I love a
good.
Tullamore Dew.
They used to call me the Tullamore Jew back in the day. I'm allowed to say it, everybody. I'm European, Jewish, and Irish mixed up. But anyway, go on. Tullamore Dew. This is a whiskey. This is why it's not Scotch of the Week, right, Vinno?
Yeah, so it's a whiskey. I've had this one a fair few times before, and I saw it in the shops this afternoon. I thought, fuck, we're going to record.
Oh, do you reckon fucking Hitler maybe was just asking for a drink before? And he just misheard and thought they said Tullamore Dew?
We are not making Holocaust jokes on this fucking
Look.
show. No.
The closest thing I thought we could have done.
List.
Look, we've already done 3 to 4 things that's going to be on our Spotify cancel list. I think we should set a limit to 4 to 5, or at least wait till the end. Wait till the end, Reece, to do all your crazy Holocaust jokes. Holocaust.
Holocaust.
Here, if you say that, then it's not the same.
That's
But,
right.
Anyway.
We are Fireside Yarns.
What is the holy
deeply,
cost of
deeply-
Tullamore Dew?
Dew, as in D-E-W, not the other Jew.
Just like the Foggy Jew, that great song.
That's right.
But anyway, have you noticed there's a little difference in spelling in whiskey compared to your scotches?
Yeah. In spelling.
Yeah.
As
So in whiskey. So what, let me just make sure I'm doing it the right way around. So
you're talking
Scotch
about the
whiskey,
K-E-Y or the K-Y?
Yeah, K-E-Y versus K-Y.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
ain't talking about the jelly, motherfucker.
I was just about to say KY.
Yeah, I knew
Grab the
you would.
KY.
But whiskey, Irish whiskey is EY.
Yes.
And it should just be a Y on your Scotch there. Yeah.
Whereas-
I wonder what that is. It's just a regional dialect and spelling, or I wonder if there's some copyright behind that, because Scotch has to be from Scotland, right?
Yeah, but
gotta
a lot
be.
of your
Gotta-
a lot of your
it's
other
gotta be.
whiskies are American too, so there is that
Like your
difference in
bourbon,
spelling.
sour mash.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I have noticed that
Is
there
it
is
nice?
that.
I'm not a whiskey guy though. For an Irish fella, I don't like it. What's that like compared to like a Scotch? that you can have?
So
I
I
prefer
found
that.
the scotches that I've been drinking lately have been very oaky, and like a real smoky
Like oaky
type.
doke.
I was about to say okie dokie or...
Okie doke.
But they've been
okie
real,
dealing, do something this.
They've been a very strong flavour, like smoky flavour as well. Whereas this is pretty
Where's my backup, Reece?
smooth, and it hasn't got that powerful
Yeah.
that powerful smoky
We'll be
flavour.
back up,
so-
Finno. We'll be back up, Finno.
I'm trying to answer your fucking question, and all I'm getting is
Yeah, I get it. It's not made of oak.
Yeah,
It all tastes the same to me, brother. It does. It really
yeah, it might
does.
do. Might do for if you're uncultured, but
I will say...
Extremely
listen
uncultured.
to
You're tasting my
that.
culture right now.
Look, I'm not
Holocaust,
no
Irish-
expert.
Swine.
Derogatism.
I'm no expert. But
Wow,
yeah, no, I
Vinno,
can
wow.
definitely taste the difference between even.
Oh, you want some of these?
Oh, what are they?
These nuts?
Yeah.
But Vinno, where do you put a does it meet the Scotch, or is it
Oh, fuck
below,
yeah.
or is it different?
Yeah. No,
It beats
man.
it.
That's
Because that's a big brand. Tullamore Dew's not fucking around, right?
So I'm
No.
not going to put them in the same category for the reasons that I mentioned just before, where there's the different flavours with the Scotch and whatnot.
Aye, aye.
So if we have another whiskey, then yeah, I might compare them. But as I said, I've had
It's good in
the-
coffee, that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, make that Irish coffee.
I love Irish coffee.
Actually, I've got
man.
another thing that I drop in coffee as well, that Joel. If we do another,
You don't need... No, don't say that on the podcast.
This is not an ejaculation story, is it?
Reecey's at it. When he came around, I made him one.
What do you make?
No,
Hold on,
just
what the fuck's going on here?
stop. Just stop.
Dew coffee. Yeah. Anyway,
This is
So-
wrong. This is wrong, boy.
whiskey of the week. Tullamore Dew. If you haven't had a crack of it and you do like your whiskies or your spirits, get on there and have a crack. All right, welcome back from the whiskey of the week. We're just going to move straight into the next lot of movies because this is going to be a fucking monster of an episode. We've still got a lot to get through. So,
Not really.
boys, how you feeling with the
Halfway
picks so
there.
far? Pretty
I'm
nostalgic,
happy. I'm
actually.
impressed.
Yeah,
I've
I'm
loved
loving
every
it.
movie except for Man and Snowy River, which I have taken a note to actually watch because I haven't watched it. I may very well like it. I do love delving into Australia's
Man,
culture.
knowing
So-
that you like that
Actually,
that folk side of things, I think you will enjoy it.
I love old Irish, Australian folk music and stuff.
Yep.
And I appreciate that it's a story that's very
the other thing too, so far, you and I, Dave, are the only ones that haven't seen a pick yet.
That's.
So-
Have you seen all of mine, Vinno? You've seen Schindler's List, Goodfella, and Terminator 2. Well, that's
Yeah,
fair enough. Come
Easy.
Yeah.
On. Who hasn't seen them? Like,
So,
There you go.
yeah. Okay. Cool.
but yeah.
All
What
right.
have you not seen, Reecey? Goodfellas.
I hadn't seen
He hasn't
Goodfellas,
seen Goodfellas.
which is really
man. I
weird
think
for
that's
me.
the-
Like, I feel
Yeah, that's a big one.
if
you like
I've
The
seen it, I
Godfather-
don't really remember it. Maybe I was too young. I don't know. But I do love. Yeah, I love all of those. Like,
Someone might say it, but Casino.
bro,
That's no
one of
one's-
my
that's a
favorites.
no one's
One
top-
of my favorites.
Oh man,
bro.
if you like Casino, Goodfellas is basically perfect for you because it's Casino's a Scorsese one as well.
yeah,
It's the same.
I
it's the
fucking
same
love
shit.
Casino, man.
Man.
Very cultural
It's
movies,
fucking
aren't
epic. Unbelievable because they're what they are is all of his movies are even The Irishman are told from the point of view of a rat. So you're not supposed to really believe it. These are folk mafia tales, but he tells them in a cultural, like you were saying, a very culturally Italian American way that I think is unparalleled from any other director. And he's just fucking so, except for maybe the Sopranos guy David Chase. I think he's the best at it. Scorsese at lots of different types of movies. Maybe we'll have another Scorsese movie in here too.
Might
Because-
do.
We might do. I don't
Well,
know.
we'll keep moving.
But,
Reecey.
maybe Reecey has one.
Reecey, jumping back in with you at number 4. What have we got?
So, I'm going to take it back to 1994. And
Shit.
this is yeah, I reckon this would be this would be up there in my top 10, top 5 even. It's another Morgan Freeman film. I'm going to actually give a shout out to Morgan Freeman.
Did you make a
because
joke about this earlier in last season?
I did.
Ah,
I
who's the
did.
shout out?
No. He called out fucking Colin.
It was a shout out to a
Colin
different
dropped a
movie, right?
reference, didn't
Yeah,
he?
Colin
different.
was the one that picked up on it actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't
Because-
notice that he did it, but in the comment section,
Cheers to
a
Colin.
local Fireside.
Cheers to Colin.
Colin.
Yeah.
Colin.
Cheers to Colin.
But I know what the movie is. I think it's epic. I can't wait to let us know and all the
Yeah,
Fireside.
it's
what it is. It is.
It's Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
Mate, it's just what an epic fucking movie.
That's a roller coaster of a movie, man.
It really is. It really is, man. And I mean, if it's good enough for Hatebreed to quote at the beginning of a song, it's good enough for me. And that's all I'm going to say. It
Epic
truly
movie.
was a Shawshank
One of the best
Redemption.
movies ever.
It really
is. And you know, it's based off Stephen King book. Do we all know what the name of the book was?
No, actually, I don't.
Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. Is the name of the
Right,
book.
correct. Yeah.
And we all know in what the Rita Hayworth references to.
Yeah.
Oh, man,
she's
to
she's
me-
the gateway to everything in that movie.
All roads lead to Rita Hayworth. But look,
Yeah.
epic movie, man.
Absolutely.
There is some
What
there is
got
some
you?
parts in that where you just go, fuck this movie, and then others where you go, yeah, this is cool. I mean, what's the old dude's name?
Red. Who was
Red.
actually an Irish
No.
fella in
The old dude that gets released.
Oh,
before
Brooks.
Red.
Brooks.
Oh yeah,
was
Brooks.
here.
Brooks.
Man,
Oh man,
that's
that to
fucked
me,
up.
I'm getting
That's
goosebumps
sad,
thinking
man.
about
It's
it.
fucking so
But what-
sad. I mean,
what
but that's
institutionalised.
institutionalized straight up.
But that's not the... So the
It's a
part
true
that gets
story,
me before that, right,
basically.
is... Like, we all know his end result, but when he's talking about when he got locked up to when he's been released, if you have a think about that time frame, like, there has been a fucking hell of a lot of history happen in that time, and that, you know, he's been in jail that whole period as well. So yeah, not only just the cars coming out, but everything that rolls into that as well. That's a fucking deep, and it references it with his monologue that when he's talking, or his, you know, his
final
letter.
monologue.
Yeah. It references that, and you're just like, fuck me, man. Like, if you stop and think about that, which is what it's prompting you to do, it's pretty powerful, and it's
Definitely.
yeah.
Well, he's seen as well how old people are treated in the society when he came out as well.
Yeah.
That's
and
right,
how in jail, obviously, old people are kind of given the old head type of OG status in the yard, respected. And in his day before he went in as well, like Brooks, fuck, what a story. He's got his own little Birdman story in there that's beautiful. Red, who was originally an Irish guy, and they kind of play a little joke to that. Why do they call you Red? Because I'm Irish.
Yep.
It's because I'm Irish, Andy. I wish Andy did not get. Yeah, but anyway, look, I wish I could tell you that, but I cannot tell you that because or show you that. Man, that movie, it might be one of the best movies ever. It might be.
Yeah.
It's got to be
100%.
top 10. If you were to vote top 10 movies, that'd be there. It'd be up
Fuck
there.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Well.
Definitely.
If you haven't seen
And-
it,
and-
jump
Tim
in
Robbins,
and
fuck.
watch it.
Definitely get on
Andy,
and watch it.
Andy Dufresne.
It's and I didn't know this until this afternoon when I was looking it up. So the opening scene where Andy and Red are talking in the prison yard and Red's throwing the baseball. Apparently that scene took 9 hours to shoot. And Morgan Freeman threw the baseball the entire time and never complained and actually showed up in his sling the next day.
Wow.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Why did it take 9 hours?
He's one of the best actors.
I couldn't tell you, man. Like, I honestly don't know. But yeah, he apparently did the entire 9 hours of that scene and didn't stop throwing that baseball the whole time.
Holy fuck.
They probably did it because the idea of those movies, you have to make these motherfuckers look smelly and tired and fuck, you know what I mean? So directors do that. They wear you out for something, you know what I mean? And they get an authentic feel from you, you know? Like Red's probably been throwing that pitch for 40 years every day at lunchtime. And his arm probably is a bit sore from doing it. You know, like I'd say there's a million things behind that. That's beautiful. But whatever they did, however they did it, fucking bucket a win of a movie, man.
Absolutely, man. It's just it's a story of hope, and it's oh man, it's just
and the wrongfully accused, which I think gets everybody. Everyone hates the idea of, oh my god, imagine being sent to prison for life for something you never did. Yeah, the fall. Everyone, that is everyone's worst nightmare. And like Vinno was saying in that movie, there's points where you're like, your heart just fucking crushes because you get close to something and it just gets ripped away, and he gets used and it's
everybody's innocent in
epic
Shawshank,
movie.
mate.
Yeah, it's like, none of us did. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure, mate. Lawyer fucked me. What a good movie, man. Everyone in that movie's great. Death from Bill and Ted is in that, and he's fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that could be on here too.
Bill and Ted are on fucking Netflix.
That should be on these lists. If someone doesn't have one Bill
Well,
and Ted,
if they're not
next list.
Yeah, if they're not on this list, they'll be on one in the future. But
all right, and both of them movies could go there.
Moving forward, you got Reecey's number 4, Shawshank Redemption. Dave, what have you got number 4?
Well, I went with a Scorsese one again, but I didn't go. I went with a newer a Scorsese movie made in the last 15 years, and this is Shutter Island. Shutter Island.
Haven't
have you
seen
ever
that
seen
either.
Shutter Island?
Neither have I. No.
So Shutter Island, this has the biggest twist.
This is one of those movies that I need to watch, but I keep like not.
You
watching.
have to watch Shutter Island twice, because the first time watching Shutter Island, your mind gets blown, and the second time you watch Shutter Island, you're watching it as someone who understands, because there's 2 points of view. there's two ways to watch this movie: in the know and not in the know.
Right.
Yeah,
Shutter
right.
Island is two marshals, federal marshals, Leonardo DiCaprio, and fucking who's that shit dude who plays the Hulk? Mark Ruffalo, most overrated actor ever, but he's good in this, right? And they're two federal marshals that are visiting a fucking a mental hospital for the criminally insane.
Oh, is this one where?
And they're on a little island, and Ben Kingsley's like the doctor of that island, and they're trying to figure out the disappearance of a woman, or so you think. There's so many. See this. We're not going to spend long on this one because you haven't seen it. But if you I would watch that before Goodfellas, and I prefer Goodfellas. But I think the experience of Shutter Island is amazing. I think Leonardo DiCaprio to me is one of the best actors ever.
Fucking oath, hands down.
And in this
He's
movie,
up there, right?
I'm telling you now, there's a scene in this movie that is more emotional and is the best acting I've ever seen from a human being, and it's in Shutter Island. It's in the last half an hour of it, and from Leonardo, and that's saying something, because Leonardo DiCaprio has about 10 movies that I'll be like, that's the best time I've seen someone cry. That's the
He's
best.
in some fucking
He's
good
phenomenal.
movies, man.
Man,
He's from
opinion, he's
childhood
underrated.
to
Like,
now.
He has been. I mean,
He's
you
the
take
GOAT.
him from the 90s when he was a bit of a heartthrob and all those sorts of stuff.
Before that, when he was a kid, in What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
But when he
man.
when his name really started to take
Benny and
off, and I think it was around Romeo and Juliet.
I was about to say,
That
right.
Yeah, Baz Luhrmann's. That was cinematically amazing, actually.
Yeah, and that
It was a good movie,
But he was
man.
very, very young then, still, and that was
And
around
The Beach
you know,
and Titanic.
yeah. So and he's been in
Mid-
some massive,
90s, yeah.
massive. Man in the Iron Mask. That is still.
Yeah,
that's
Gangs
not
of New
on the
York,
list, yeah.
Departed, fucking.
Hang on,
Can't
stop! Hang on,
Departed,
stop!
The
man.
Beach.
Stop mentioning
Oh,
movies.
I think he is the GOAT. I think he's the best actor
I
ever.
agree.
And
I
if you
agree.
haven't seen Shutter Island, I think his best scene is in Shutter Island.
Right.
Ever. And when you watch that, you'll be like, oh my god, that is the most genuine piece of acting I've ever seen in my life. But I won't say anything. But
Is
I won't
it
tell you what
more genuine than Will Smith in Fresh Prince?
Oh no! Oh, you mean why don't he want me, man?
Yeah.
No,
That's
actually, I'll tell you that gets me every time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Pursuit of Happiness, Will Smith.
Oh, bro.
Have you ever seen that?
I
don't
made
remember-
Hannah watch it the other week. Holy fuck.
I'll cry again watching that. I'll cry watching
Such
that
a good movie,
and
man.
£7. £7,
Oh.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, stop it. Next
Dave's
movie.
just dropping. Dave's just look.
No, Will
Dave's
Smith
dropping
to
movie
me,
names. Like,
Will Smith is the
Will
goat,
Smith
man.
is up
I know
here.
he is.
He is up here, and he's an action
I'm not
star. And he's
denying that.
funny and
I'm not
everything.
denying that.
But he
Dave's
is a
just done 2
dramatic
lists.
go. I have done 2 lists. But Will Smith. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio and this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Ben Kingsley's fantastic. It is an old school thriller, detective, psychological thriller. If you like all that, watch it, and you will want to watch it again. Because the second time you watch it and you're like, oh my god, yeah, I can't believe I watched it one way.
Yeah, right.
Unbelievable.
I'm excited for that now.
Shutter
I
Island.
have seen
one
it
of the best
show up a few
Scorsese's
times, and I've
movies.
just not dedicated the time.
It didn't
to
get the
it.
praise it deserved. It did not. But I think
See,
if you
Shutter
watch it-
Island and Inception are on the same plane for me.
Inception
Like,
to me is a bit had the potential and it was great. But here, look, in case someone has it, but there are glaring points for me in Inception, and it got a bit muddly here. But I think Shutter Island is near a perfect movie. Check it out.
Fuck yeah.
Shutter Island. Dave's number 4.
All right. So
You know.
my number 4, I'm going to move well away from those sorts of genres that you've just mentioned. So I'm going to take it
And
back
here
to
is porn.
1975.
You know,
This was-
you know how I know this is 70s porn? How? Guy's dick has
It's got
sideburns.
sideburns. It's bulletproof, isn't it? That one.
What a fucking
Fucking
Adam
hell.
Sandler movie. An unsung Adam Sandler movie, eh?
Fucking oath.
Right. Anyway, I'm going to move on because I'm not going to give Reese a chance to
Don't listen to
say
me.
his name. Because it might ruin something else on my list. But anyway. So this was the movie, Reese, that I thought that you were talking about was earlier on when you were talking about Star Wars. And this is why I said it was the second one in the series, or the second movie that they ever made.
The best ever.
So this one,
Oh, I think I know what he's going
arguably,
to say now.
do you? So
Is this a movie, just as a hint, did an actor in this movie win an Oscar for the same role as the first one, but a different actor?
No.
Okay.
No. This is the second movie made by this group. The first one, there's a bit of discussion around whether the first movie was actually a movie. It was a series of skits put together. But this was the actual first movie made, or second movie, technically, put on a big screen. It follows a classic Arthurian legend, and it made an absolute mockery of it. And this is Monty Python and the Holy Grail. As my number 4.
Bro.
So this is, it grossed more than any British film exhibited in the US in 1975. And that was the first of the Monty Python movies that I've ever seen. And man, to this day, that first scene when you hear the fucking horses trotting up and they come over,
coconuts,
just 2 coconuts, man, you fucking can't. That drew me in straight away. I went, what the fuck is this? This is brilliant. That and the,
your
and the
father
Black Knight
is a something, and your mother smelled of elderberries.
Your mother was a hamster. Your mother was a hamster.
It's a hamster. That's it.
Smelled
Father
of elderberries.
smelled of elderberries.
All right then, we'll call it a draw. Fucking Black Knight.
Just but to scratch. Just but to scratch.
We are the knights who
She's a flesh wound.
me. It's so ridiculous, but it's so
is your
fucking
favourite colour?
good. Blue. Oh
No. Boom.
it is the rabbit. I thought, what is it?
They were
Behind them?
weirdos, man.
Oh,
They started a revolution with their TV show, The Flying Circus.
Yeah.
And then with
So that was the
Life
first-
of Brian, The Meaning of Life. Fuck.
The Flying Circus
Circus?
was technically the first movie that came out, even though it was a TV series or a series. It started off as a radio series, but it was a series of skits put together, and then they did, I think it was Life of Brian and the Meaning of Life. But
Life of Brian.
and Life of Brian, man, just got so many people's backs up because they thought it
people
was
talk about cancel culture now.
Yeah.
You want to do it back when those guys were getting fucking raked over coals.
I think most people have seen the interview. Yeah, with Michael Palin and John Cleese with the.
Yeah, man. John Cleese owned those cunts on stage, man. That Bishop or whatever his name was.
But even Michael
Yeah,
Palin,
was
man,
great.
some of the things that he was saying there, he was just so disgusted. You could see in his mannerisms, just at the attitude towards it. And as I said,
They tried to be good. They tried to be respectful. But I think John Cleese he was ready to go to hammer back.
yeah,
And Michael Palin's he's even reinvented himself now. He's just a smart motherfucker. I love listening to him talk in his documentaries.
yeah.
But what a group of lads. Monty
Man.
Python.
But see, they did
Eric
it wasn't-
Idle?
They weren't just Monty Python. They did. There's another show that we had growing up, and it was the first time ever I'd actually seen them. And it was after we watched this. It was called How to Irritate People, and it was just.
I remember that.
Yeah, man. So that was Dad had that, and we watched it, and we thought it was fucking hilarious. And then he said, "Oh, well," and he went to the video shop that night, got the Holy Grail, and we were watching it, and that was how we got into.
Let me just. You like that, son? Let me show you something.
Yeah, that was what it was,
Yeah.
man. It was fucking brilliant. And then
Oh, you
after
like
we
that?
watched,
Yeah.
we watched
I mean, Life of Brian.
Life of Brian, sorry. Yeah, and then so that was our introduction to Monty Python. The Holy Grail, man, will still be always one of my favourites, just because of fucking just how random it is. And
Wacky.
It's just
Yeah.
Monty Python to a T. But so Rin my wife hadn't seen any of Monty Python stuff, and then I showed her the Holy Grail, and she just pissed herself laughing the whole time. She thought it was
Holds
hilarious.
up, doesn't it?
I don't know how you couldn't laugh. You know, you'd have to be a miserable prick to not watch that and piss yourself laughing. So,
But again, spawned. Like, you think of all these crazy skit shows and also wacky outside of the box shows and comedies.
yep.
That's all from that shit. And it was satirical as well. It was just smart. It was smart as well. Like, we were talking about how wacky it was, but the reason what made it art and hilarious was how fucking
Relevance.
smart it was.
Yeah.
And revolutionary.
Well, it blatantly
Yeah.
took the piss out of so many things to the point where you'd go, fuck, you know, it'd either go over your head because you weren't on the same level as what they were thinking, or you would just think, oh no, surely they're not going that far. But yeah, fucking, they'll always be classics. If you don't know Monty Python, then, you know, get the fuck out, because or do yourself a favour and go
I
and
actually,
find out.
yeah, I envy anyone that hasn't seen those, because now you get to watch them.
You do, yeah. You get to see it all for the first time. What the fuck
Sorry,
was
guys.
that?
What the fuck?
Just a little garden variety normal sneeze from the Daves to there. Let's move on.
He's got the COVID.
Yeah, he does. All right, anyway.
We got Brovid. It's a sexually transmitted COVID.
Brovid.
Bros.
From
Yeah.
the bros.
It's when you tip dicks for too long. Just for too
That's
long.
called dogging.
Is
Is
there
it
ever a
anyway?
time?
No,
is
that's
there,
you have
is there
to
a
have-
time?
you
Is
have to
there
have
really a
40
time
for that,
limit?
don't you, Vinno?
What's too long?
I think too long is when you get the COVID. I think everything before that, and it's a shame, because before that it was never too long.
So how long does it take to get the Brovid?
For me? From you? Not long. Not long at all, brother. Cheers to that.
Moving on from Brovid.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, Reecey. Give us your number 5.
Well,
Before you give me one, you know what I mean? I'll give you one.
I'll give you one.
All right, give us number 5. What you got?
I'm glad, Vinno, that you stepped into a direction of comedy, because that's exactly where my next choice leads me.
Cool.
And I don't know what your guys' favorite type of comedy is, but for me, it's stoner comedy, and I fucking love it. So I'm going to a highly quotable. I do believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the first film that Ice Cube ever actually acted in.
See, I didn't have this on my fucking list because I knew you would have it. You've quoted
And he
it
wrote
every
it.
episode.
Is this the one that he wrote?
Potentially.
Yep.
I think it is.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yep. Him and Chris Tucker, forever, still to this day, makes me laugh like a motherfucker. And all I'm going to say is...
How do you get fired on your day off?
Yeah,
fuck out.
thank God. Oh, I was quoting it last week.
Yeah.
Thank God it's Friday. It's fucking Friday, man.
Friday. What a hood. It's a hood movie. It's a comedy. It's a stoner movie. It's fucking it's got a
It's
banging
everything.
fucking soundtrack.
Oh,
and it's
bro.
part of Beef. It's part of Beef as well with Cypress Hill. Look, Friday and an intro to Ice Cube. What a pick, Reese. Good work.
Yeah, I fucking love, right? Man, I've got it on VHS still.
And
That's-
Chris
that's how
Tucker,
long
man.
I've
That
had
was
this
the first
movie
time
in my
I'd seen Chris Tucker, and
Smokey.
holy
Smokey.
fuck, man.
Smokey!
Yeah.
And
Hey,
man,
he wouldn't-
Vinno,
Smokey back
Vinno.
here taking a shit. He wouldn't do the
Ain't gonna
second
tell
one
nobody
because
else.
He reckoned he was all Christian. Did you know that he wouldn't do the second one because he was all Christian and stuff?
Yeah,
But
okay.
either way, he was
Really?
making 100 million a movie with Jackie Chan.
Yeah,
But he got
true.
very he's like with Michael Jackson and trying to be. But I think he did Friday and he wanted to get away from being that, stoner.
Generic stoner, yeah.
Yeah, so I think he was happy being the action star and all that. But either way, like, great work for Mike Epps to come in and do that second one, which Day, which is which
Oi.
could be in another Friday.
Next Friday.
Next Friday could be in this too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next.
But
I didn't put
Friday-
it in here because, I mean, I actually saw next Friday before I saw Friday.
Me too.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
my Friday. Next Friday is
Yeah.
my Friday. Yeah.
So
Right.
I actually
saw
watched the
Friday,
first
and then I
time-
didn't realise that there was sequels until maybe 2
Really?
years after. Yeah. So I was like, "That's awesome. That's a fucking sick movie." And then actually, it was you when you were living at Newcastle Beach.
Yeah, true. Wow.
We were watching it there. Yeah. Actually, no. So it was
So
more
you
than
didn't
2
see
years.
next Friday till then?
Didn't see next Friday. I didn't even know
Oh
there
man,
was
next
sequels.
Friday is
Yeah.
epic, man.
Yeah.
Right,
fuck
I
yeah.
saw the
Joker.
first time. Wait, and I will. Wait, hey Chico, Wait,
What, you heard of my dog? He did nothing to you. No more locked doors. Oh man, I
no
love
more locked doors.
No more locked doors.
I
Ah.
fucking love it.
Oh
Wait,
man, he's epic in that. But Friday won. And Debo and the end scene.
You got knocked the fuck out.
You think you're a man with that gun? I'm a
His
man
dad,
without
Bill
it.
Withers.
Yeah.
Is it Bill Withers?
Yeah,
Is that his name? He only died recently.
Did he?
Fucking funny
Yeah,
motherfucker. It's like,
Did he really
"There's
die? I
shit
didn't know
must
that."
Be your upper lip. Yeah. Let me check. I think he only died like last year. Is it Bill Withers, the comedian? No,
Well, no, but he was in-
Bill Withers.
man,
is
he
that
was-
dude who
he's
wrote
a fucking
fucking like a
cracker.
song. He used to like "Lean on Me." What's his name? Fuck.
John Witherspoon.
Friday cast. John Wither. I knew there was a Withers in there. That's right. John Witherspoon. Yeah, he died 2019.
There
Did
you
he
go.
catch
Yeah.
the COVID? Did he get the COVID? Did COVID get him?
The COVID? No. Sure.
Better fucking no. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to run away from the Brover, cause of death. Because he was a big old school comedian.
Miss Parker! Miss
Good on
Parker!
Yeah.
When you gonna let me fuck, Miss Parker?
I wouldn't go in there for about 4 to 5 minutes. What was that? 30 to 45 minutes.
Every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen.
You in the kitchen.
In the goddamn refrigerator.
goddamn refrigerator.
Eating all the food.
Eating all the food.
What does he
All
say?
the chicken
Boy, you
wings.
better put some fucking water on that. What's he saying again?
You better put some water on that damn shit.
Yeah.
You stand there eating a
He's
bag
the
of
shit.
grapes, man.
Yeah, he's so good.
I fucking
Did
love
not take
it.
you,
But
did
no,
not take, take trash out?
so
What a man. What?
I will
John
forever be happy
Bill
with the
Withers.
fact that the first time I ever saw Next Friday was the first time I ever smoked weed. So it's kind of got a bit of a special place in my heart. So, but yeah, Friday. I actually think I probably prefer Friday over Next Friday, even though I saw Next Friday first. They're both absolute gems for me.
Yeah.
Next Friday, I think something about Mike Epps just catches me. But
Yes.
again, I watched it first. So then when I went back to Chris Tucker, maybe that affected me more because that was an epic,
So
revolutionary.
you've got the
hood
first
comedy,
two.
You know?
So how about
Yeah.
Friday after next?
Friday after Next.
They went down like chicken want to make you
They
smack
did.
your mama. No, like, it's funny. And then that was
That's
with
in
the
the, that's in
Christmas.
my Christmas category now. Yeah.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
it's a good hood Christmas movie, but it's not the same. It didn't have the
No.
same
Yeah.
feel, but it was still good. Like I'd still watch it. And Cat Williams as an
Yeah.
addition was great, and he was good. And I liked it. I
fucking
did
love
like it,
Cat
but it's not
Williams,
the
man.
same. Those two movies. It's like when I talk about Metallica. I kind of put
Yeah.
the rest of their albums in they're never gonna meet that level. And
The
that's
Friday
fair,
after
and
Next
it's
is like
too
when
much to
Metallica
ask.
cut their hair off.
Yeah, that's the Black Album or Load. That's Load. Friday After Next is Load. But there's Fuel on there. You know, you've got fucking Load and Reload. You know, they had some good songs on there.
Yeah.
But not the shit. Until It Sleeps, like some good little bangers. But I like the gangs back together. But whatever. Is everybody eating? Is everybody getting the paper? I'm happy then. You know, whatever. But it's not 1 and 2.
Yeah.
But 1 launched Ice Cube as an actor and as a director, writer, and Cube Vision. I think that was the first Cube Vision thing, and now obviously a behemoth. You know what I mean? He makes.
And it's funny that you say,
he makes everything.
like, it's funny you mentioned that in the Friday it was kind of like the beef for Cypress Hill and shit.
Cypress.
But then
Throw
the
your set
opening,
in the air. Yeah.
the opening scene to Next Friday with the credits, it's playing Hits from the Bomb.
Yeah, but they make up. They are like it was.
Yeah.
It was a
I
lot
mean, I
of
get
slap.
that, but it's,
And,
you know, it's
oi,
just
people
kinda
got
funny,
the shit
like-
kicked out of him. Ice Cube got his chain stolen over that shit. Some
Yeah.
fella fucking ran up because Cypress Hill are real bloods. They're real bloods. Like I think the King of the Hill by Ice Cube. I think it was a better diss song. But Cypress Hill did the diss song. Oh yeah, that's Bobby Hill. I have the same arse as Hank Hill. But fucking it's true. It's true, and it's got its own. My wife reckons that are like 2 little scallops, and not potato cakes. I'm talking like shellfish. But they're getting bigger though. I'm doing me squats. Give me a break.
Do your squats. Get on the
Do me
push bike.
squats.
Hey,
They're gonna be.
Hey,
They're gonna be
my
some
missus calls me
Kilpatrick
teeny tush, so
oysters.
I feel you, bro. I'm on your level.
Yeah. But anyway, like, great movie. Great,
Yes,
fantastic
absolutely.
movie.
All right.
Absolutely.
And a cultural behemoth.
Fuck yeah. Dave.
Now, I am going to keep it on comedies too, just because we're on
Yes,
a
this
happy
is
roll.
perfect. This has worked out perfectly.
Yeah, this is good, because the drunker we get, the happier you want to be, right? Now, for me, I don't know if this is on everyone's list. In fact, I found this was discontinued and not on a streaming service for a while. I think I had to get it through Amazon or some shit. I can't remember. But it was discontinued on DVD for ages. And this movie is The Burbs. Has everyone watched The Burbs? Tom Hanks comedy? No. Okay, so Joe Dante, the fella who made Gremlins, alright?
Sounds fake.
Okay.
Well, it's not a true story. It's like Cool Runnings. It's a fake comedy. It's everything's sensationalized for comedic effect. But anyway, director Joe Dante, he did the Gremlins, Small Soldiers, stuff like that. And to people out there, if you haven't seen it,
how good was fucking Small Soldiers, dude?
Was the shit.
That was near
shit.
in my list. I'm
And
not gonna
Gremlins.
lie. Yeah,
I loved it.
Hannah
That
and I
could've
were
been
only
on
talking
my
about
list.
Small Soldiers the other day.
Man, I remember
Fuck,
playing
that's a good
VHS
Small
for me.
Soldiers on Nintendo 64.
Yeah,
Actually,
they had the
was it
game.
Nintendo?
Yeah,
PlayStation. Which one?
Wasn't Nintendo. It had to be PlayStation.
My brother
Because I
was
played it and I didn't have a
fuming,
64.
man. My brother was fuming because, like, there was one level there. It was PvP, and I was just on a mounted machine gun, just smoking him, like, for fucking.
Was this on the back of a fucking, like, a remote control car level? With the dynamite in the car?
Might have been.
I think I vaguely remember that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Either way, man,
Small
that was a
Soldiers
fucking
great.
fantastic
But this
movie
is The
in the game.
Burbs, alright?
Yeah.
This is a Tom Hanks comedy, alright? And it's about people, and Corey Feldman's in it. He's like a stoner kid next door. And it's about kind of like, you know, little suburbs, and everyone knows each other, and they're all spying on each other, and there's gossip. And Bruce Dern is in it, and he's kind of like a Vietnam veteran who's fucking still stuck in the war. I feel like you haven't seen it, so I can't really get into it, but the people out there, check it out. It's about like a foreign family moves in, and the whole neighborhood thinks they're up to shit, and it's like a murder mystery, nosy neighbor fucking comedy, and it's really good, and it still holds up today. The Burbs. So use Australians who say the burbs, like suburbs, right? So just in case you're like, what the fuck's a burb? Yeah, you know what I mean? It's a burb, mate. Yeah. And it's a fucking
burb, mate.
Carrie Fisher's in it. Great movie. Fantastic movie. I can't believe you haven't seen it.
No.
It's so funny, man, and it still holds up.
Is this where you got like your inspiration to record your neighbours trying to move in?
Oh, no, that was just
Hey,
funny as
if
fuck.
anyone doesn't know, I recorded my neighbours crashing a fucking moving truck into their house the day they moved in. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. It's what you want in everything.
We'll put we'll put a link in the description. Please remember to do it.
We might play the video.
This shit's
Play the video
funny.
of it right now.
Yeah, the narration's
Oh, yeah,
perfect.
that would be
We
awesome.
probably don't play
Yeah,
it. We
play
probably
it,
won't
play
play it.
No,
But,
we'll put it at the end. We'll put it at the end as the next one.
That
I'll
might
eat
be
these
a
nuts.
Patreon thing down the end.
Yeah.
Patreon link.
But either way, yeah, The Burbs, old school Tom Hanks comedy, hilarious, 1989, which is a good year, but not quite 1988
No, it's perfect.
or 1987.
Perfect. All right. I'm gonna move.
The year of the losers.
I'm going to
The year of
move
the
a couple of mine. Year of the legends. Fucking burping. All right,
2
so I'm
hours,
going to
let's
move.
go.
I'm going to move a couple of mine around. I had more than 7, as I expected.
What
to
do you
have
mean?
because
Well, you have to have.
I
just
literally
7,
only
so
picked
there you
7.
I'm only going to throw 7
I only
in.
picked 7.
I'm only going to throw 7 in, but I'm going to move one out and throw another one in, just because we're on the topic of comedies.
And also
this
because
one-
Dave has mentioned about 30 other movies.
I'm
Yeah,
on 30. Yeah, did I
He hasn't-
already mentioned that one? You
No,
threw
he
out?
hasn't mentioned this one. He hasn't even mentioned. Actually, you mentioned the actor in it, but I'll save it for another time.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No. But this is one of the reasons why I told Reese to shut his mouth when we were talking about Bulletproof. Alright, because this is one of
Adam
my
Sandler.
all-time favourite
Or Adam
movies.
Sandler.
I came across this movie when I was a kid back in the video shop, and I just grabbed it because of the title, because it's a play on words. But it was the first time I'd ever seen Damon Wayans acting, and Man, some of the quotes out of this.
Am
and
I
it's
right?
just fucking hilarious. I remember being pissed drunk with Reecey,
That's my favorite.
Benny
scene.
sitting at the Beaches Hotel just quoting this pissed drunk, laughing our heads off one night. If you don't answer me when I speak to you,
When I'm talking to you,
I'm gonna put my foot
put
in your ass.
in
Do
your
you hear me,
ass.
dummy? So the movie
Do
is Major Pain. With
bro.
Damon Wayans. Fucking cracker of a movie.
fucking
Dave,
love
have you
Major
seen
Pain,
it?
man.
I have watched it once or twice.
But
when I
have you
was
seen
young.
it?
Yeah.
But have you
Yes,
seen
I
it?
have seen it.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it. I think everyone's seen it, right?
I think everyone has. If you haven't, it's about a major who's been booted out of the army. All he's ever known is
The
the
boot
army,
camp,
so they
right?
bring him back in to run an ROTC program, which is, for anyone that doesn't know, like a school-based army program. Is the easiest way to put it, I suppose. And because he's so regimented and only ever lived in the army, he's very serious, and these kids are just, ragtag bunch of kids.
Kids. They're just
What
kids.
he's got to do is get them ready for basically this competition at the end of, or get them ready for a competition, and they're just not disciplined or anything. And yeah, it's fucking hilarious.
The shit's funny.
So yeah,
Chugga,
it's
chugga, 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 chugga.
toot, toot, toot. I said, Bubba, you ain't got no legs.
No legs. I fucking love it, bro.
Major Pain, my number 5. I won't mention the movie
It's
that
so
I did
good.
have in number 5 because I'll save that for another week.
Can I call something
Yeah,
an emergency piss break?
go for it. So,
Hey everybody, we'll be back after this.
welcome back from that emergency piss break that Dave needed.
Woo! Not a shit
Fuck,
break.
some-
There is no more pissing me. Thank you.
It's
Thank you
sparked
everybody.
some pretty interesting conversation in the meantime.
Boy, actually,
Funny
speaking of
that
shit
I went
break,
for a piss
honorable
break and the
mention.
conversation went that way.
Wait, speaking of shit break though, honorable mention to American Pie because that was a close in my list.
Shit
I
break.
feel like we've got to stop mentioning other movies.
Oh, you think you got Vinno's number 7 there with
No,
American
he
Pie?
didn't. He didn't.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
fuck. The
That's
amount
an
of
epic
movies that-
movie.
He-
That was
he's
our
no-
childhood
he's-
too.
The
He's
extras that
thinking
have
too
been
far into the
dropped
future.
This episode.
That's what it's about.
That's right.
Well, you can't mention Star Wars without mention. Well, you can't mention A New Hope without mentioning fucking 9 movies.
No, you
You know
can't.
what I mean?
No,
Like,
you
just-
can't.
Yeah,
Anyway,
so many of them. That's what movies are. But yeah, Reese,
Reecey,
you're number 6.
let's have
My
it.
number 6. Continuing on with the comedy theme.
Hey.
Couple of years later, we're talking into the early 2000s, but probably I don't know. I don't know if I could say it's my favorite stoner comedy. Actually, yeah, no, I probably could. It probably does
Does it
actually
involve
be.
2 rappers?
It does.
Oh,
It does.
Epic stoner comedy. One of the best. It is. You can say it's one of the best stoner comedies
Yeah.
ever.
I think it
I'll put it
probably
there.
is the best.
I'd put it very high on that list.
Yeah. Or how high would you put it?
up?
Yes, it's fucking how high. Method
high.
Man and Red Man. Oh man,
Epic
It's-
movie.
absolutely,
Get
dude.
get high scores.
That's right. I figure I take the test high. I figure I study high, take the test high, get high scores. It's
Who
just
was that dude on campus? The fucking hall monitor dude again? The campus security guy.
bro. I can't remember his
He was
name.
funny
Hang on,
as
hang on,
fuck,
hang on.
man. He was
What
so
is his
funny.
fucking name?
He was funny as fuck, man.
He was funny.
That's just a
dude.
On
fucking
his
Wait,
little
man.
bike and shit.
Man,
Cypress Hill Gen's in that. That's another Cypress
Yep,
Hill.
Cypress
They
Hill
actually
in
play the
that.
house party, don't they?
Man, that Cisco Kid song off the soundtrack too is fucking sick,
That
dude.
whole soundtrack.
That whole soundtrack is
That's good
epic.
shit, yeah.
It's fucking.
That is. I put that up, but that was one of my like, you know, when you're like pre-teen to teenagers, it's like that's the sneakiest fuck movie. It's like, let's watch this one. Let's watch. I don't want to name more ones, but like those stoner comedies, that's up there for me. It really is.
Yeah. And I kind of like it because there's like that historical factor of like, you know, when they do
There's
the presentation.
supernaturalness to it, to the blend of it all, like to the death. You know, like it's pretty cool.
Avery!
It's pretty cool.
It's man,
I've not seen that movie in years, man. I'm like,
You're
I remember
due.
the car scene. Yeah, I am. I remember the
Everyone
car
can
scene.
relate to
ghost,
that car
ghost,
scene when he's trying to roll a J.
Actually,
The air
Got
con's
weed.
gone off and he's trying to get.
the last time
Oh
I
no,
watched this,
my
actually,
weed!
Dave, was with you and Hicksy at your place down there when you were living with Neve.
That was a how high moment.
Yes, down at down in the
Right,
BP,
Quarry Street.
Fucking.
Quarry Street. Yeah,
I-
The shack,
Neve and
we used to
Amy.
call it.
Yeah, yeah.
I absolutely love that movie, man. Like, and
special
like
movie.
even when you get older, like you can go back and watch it, and you're like, this is kind of corny, but it's just the nostalgia
Fun as
for
fuck,
me, and just
Yeah.
it's just
And they were
gold.
huge. Redman and Method Man at that time were the shit. And they're
Still
arguably
are.
like that Blackout album might be one of the
bro.
best
Blackout
duo
is-
combined albums ever.
100%.
And I think was it you that did Fire in a Hole? Was that the song you chose, or what song did you choose off Blackout? Someone chose a song for Blackout out. Someone. But I love that
No.
song, Fire in a Hole.
Yes.
Fire
Was it
in a
Steve?
Hole.
It would have been Steve.
might
I
have
reckon.
chose.
Yeah.
But that's a fucking great album.
Shout out to
That's
Steve.
fantastic.
It is.
Cheers to Steve.
Shout out to Steve
Yeah,
Holland.
cheers to Steve.
Yeah, Steve
Hip-hop,
Breezy.
Hot
Actually, you know what?
Picks
I haven't
2,
spoken to Steve for a
everybody.
while.
Check that out.
I feel like I need to get. In
Would you?
contact.
He'd be moving at the moment, wouldn't he?
Shout out to his album.
It's been quiet. Yeah.
Everybody. Steve Holland.
He was moving over to-
Was it Ronan?
I don't think he ended up
Ronan was the
going
one
because of the
I've-
COVID.
Okay. We need
They're
to
moving to
chat
Dublin.
Steve. We need to get him on again for season 2.
Him and his missus
do.
moving to Dublin.
do.
They were.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but
moving
man,
on.
Oh man, hell hoy.
Great movie. Good pick, Reecey.
Fantastic.
Absolutely, mate.
And you know what? You're right. It's a comedy, but it's also a stoner comedy. It's also a hip hop hood movie.
It's
There's
a
so many-
cultural
there's so many-
comedy. There's so many
It
aspects
is.
to that.
It's supernatural. It's a college movie, which was big for that era. It was
Yeah.
like the American Pie era.
Why do good
Fucking fantastic
girls
movie.
get with bag?
Dave, hit us with your number 6.
Yeah. My number. So I'm going to take it away from comedies, and now we're going to a different genre movie. Sports movies.
Ooh.
Now,
Oh,
here is another one that I believe the second movie is well better than the first movie. And this movie is written, directed, and starring a very special person in all of our hearts, Sylvester Stallone. This movie is Rocky 2. Now, Rocky. So I love the whole Rocky series.
Yeah.
But that second one, because the first one Rocky loses, his whole thing is that he went the distance. He went the distance with the champion. No one told you. No one thought this Italian stallion. Nobody was going to do it. You're a Chuck Weapon or Muhammad Ali. Nobody. But he went the distance. And that was the victory. That was the metaphorical victory that was taken from Rocky 1. Now Rocky 2 starts and it's the aftermath of the fight. It's literally the next day in the hospital. And everyone's like, oh my god, Apollo Creed is the reigning best ever champion, and he is pissed because the people's champion is Rocky now because he won everyone's hearts over by doing that, and he did what people thought he weren't supposed to do, and he went the distance. He still lost. But the second movie, they have that going the distance, gonna fly now. At the best of the montages, I believe, is in that one, and there's a lot of good montages. But again, you got Burgess Meredith as Mickey. And this is his second last movie of the series. He was the old Penguin in the old Batman movies. Come on, Rock, you're a greasy, fast Italian tank. The best. Everyone loves Mickey.
He became
phenomenal.
a stereotype, didn't he? In
Well, he was a
regards to
phenomenal.
Yeah, but in
like
regards
the
to
coach
that
in the
character,
corner.
Yeah.
But he was the same, and but he was the same when he's the penguin. Batman, rah, rah, rah. Like it was just who the fuck he was. Like, but he was phenomenal. Yeah, Talia Shire.
He wasn't acting. He
played-
was just they fucking pulled him.
No,
out
he's
of
like,
the pub.
what am I even doing here? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's phenomenal, Mickey. And you know what? There's like 3 Rocky movies I could have put in this, but I chose the second one because for me that was always my favorite one. I thought it was Oscar worthy because you're still that old school. Not the third one. He's not rich yet. He's still down and out, and it's still kind of in the same vein as the first one. But this is the one he wins, and it's really montage heavy. And he's fucking Adrian has a bit of an accident.
Montage.
Oh man, Adrian has an accident. She never wants him to fight again 'cause she's worried about him. And she has an accident, and she wakes up from a fucking coma after her baby was born as well. She goes, there's one thing I want you to do for me, because he hasn't been training and all. And she goes, win. And that, and Mickey's like, what are we waiting for?
Oi, the
And they go to it and get
demigods
goosebumps.
sampled the shit out of that too.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, even the fourth one is a heap of good demigod samples. He can't win. Yeah, Big Pun samples that. You can't win. He's too strong from the club. Oh man. But anyway, but that's off that Capital Punishment album by Big Pun. Check that out. But again, you have Carl Weathers as Apollo Creed, and we all know Carl Weathers from from Predator. Dylan with the handshake
Yes!
memes. Carl Weathers, and he's Chubbs. He's Chubbs from Happy Gilmore.
He is. Too.
Yes.
Carl Weathers is so good. He's an unsung legend.
And he's
of
not
those-
the guy you were thinking of as Craig's dad. So
What? Yeah,
you
it's
say-
not, it's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Reese
yeah.
Witherspoon or whatever his name is. We'll never get his name, and we never will. Guaranteed Fireside Yarns.
But it's cool,
Never will
like-
get Bill Witherspoon's name.
The whole Rocky story, like even the backstory
beautiful.
with Stallone and him coming up and him being down and out literally
As an actor.
As an actor, you know.
Well, he wrote and put
breakthrough
that
was
forward.
Rocky.
They didn't even want him to play the character when
That's
they
right,
signed him on. And he had this issue where some of his face would be paralyzed. That's really got this Stallone. Like obviously now he can talk, but back then no one wanted him because he was trying out for Han Solo and Star Wars and all, and people were like, please mate. It was actually and like Vinno was saying, it mirrored his Rocky story, because in Rocky people see him as a dopey nothing and like, oh look at this guy, and then he surprises you and he gets the number one, like, and that's what Rocky is to me. And the second one's the epitome of that because he finally wins. But then you've got Talia Shire as Adrian, fantastic, and she was the first woman to be in 2 trilogies. She was in The Godfather. She was Michael's sister, remember? She was in all 3 of the Godfather movies, and she was on all 3 of the Rocky movies too. She's the first woman to be in all 3 trilogies. And then you had Burt Young as Paulie, her brother, and he was fantastic in all the Rocky movies. And he was one of the only people that had a proper boxing background. He had an amateur background. I think he used to train with Mickey Ward or something like that. But if you look at old pictures of Burt Young, and he ended up being like the Terminator in The Sopranos as well. He's like an old man, Bagliari. Fantastic actor, Burt Young. Great in Rocky and all the Rocky, but in this one he was brilliant as Adrian's drunken brother. And again, epic sports movie, but launched Stallone. We would
I
not
think that's
have Stallone
another
enough
series
of
that I'm
not
gonna
only
have to
not only
rewatch.
launched him.
Oh man,
But-
Rocky 2. Rocky 1's a bit like, oh, it's good, it's an old movie. Because remember, Rocky 2 was in 1979. So Rocky 1's in like 76, 77, I think. That's a long fucking time ago, and Stallone has still got an 8-pack. Like, that man is in phenomenal shape. He has got veins
fuck yeah.
in his fucking ears, man. he's not fucking around. But
He's the
back then
Italian
he was a
stallion,
little...
mate.
He barely had an abs back then. Actually, it's actually Rocky 3 when he started to rip up. It was after Rambo. But in Rocky 1 and 2, he just kind of had the pecs and the shoulders and all. But, but you watch... Sexy man. But Stallone, again, written kind of like Ice Cube or Friday, he started his own career.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think Rocky 2 could have won Oscars. I think it's that good of a movie. Like, phenomenal movie.
I think the drawing
Can't say
concept
that.
is everyone loves an underdog, and
The underdog.
and
That's right.
Yeah.
That's a perfect, it's metaphorically and throughout the whole.
Perfect analogy for him.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I think one of the first Stallone movies I ever saw was Cliffhanger.
Oh man, with John Lithgow
mate.
was a great
John
bad
Lithgow,
guy in
fucking
that.
oath.
He
man.
is fantastic in that.
he was. Yeah, fuck.
He's been a
I
piece of
remember
shit.
watching that because he was in Third Rock from the Sun, wasn't he?
Third
Yep,
Rock
that's
and
right.
Dexter.
Yep.
Have
And
you ever watched Dexter?
Speed? Oh man, Dexter's fucking so good.
Man,
So,
John Lithgow
I'm not
and
up to date with
Dexter
the
as
newest
Trinity
stuff.
Killer.
Yeah, I'm not up to date with the new Dexter. Hannah's just finished.
I haven't
watching
watched
the
that
rest.
yet.
I haven't watched
the
the
new
new
season
stuff.
yet,
No.
but I will watch
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love Dex. And he was.
great
Have you ever
show.
seen a movie called Santa Claus? It's well before Tim Allen
Is that?
stuff.
Oh yeah.
And John Lithgow's the bad guy in it. And what he's doing, he's a marketing business owner. He's trying to make Christmas 2 so he can have another Christmas to sell toys to everyone. And he's trying to just phase out Santa. John Lithgow's one of the best bad guys ever. I know this is a throw off from Cliffhanger, which is a throw off from Rocky 2. Speed 2. Was he in
Stop.
Speed 1, John Lithgow?
Stop.
Yeah, he's in
mentioning
Speed 1.
movies.
I thought it was Ed Harris. Or who's the bad guy in Speed? Or Dustin Hoffman or whatever. Or
Bruce
Dennis
Willis.
Hopper. I can't remember.
Bruce Willis. This was
Speed with Keanu Reeves, yeah?
fucking
Yeah.
joking.
Isn't
John
John
Lithgow's
Lithgow
not
the
in that,
bad
is he?
guy in the first one? I need to look that up.
I
now,
thought it
'cause-
was Dennis Hopper. Oh, wait. Speed cast.
No, it's Reese Witherspoon.
Dennis Hopper. Yeah, it's Carl Witherspoon. Or whatever.
Ignore.
Carl
See,
Weatherspoon.
this is why you should not listen to me. Don't listen to me.
Yeah. Dennis Hopper and Jeff
Yeah.
Daniels was like his buddy. But he might be in the second one. I don't know. John Lithgow, fantastic. Third Rock from the Sun as well. Me and Em
Well, that's
watched
what
that still,
I
and
brought
that
that
holds
up.
up.
I brought that up because when Reese mentioned Cliffhanger, the first time I watched that, I went, "Hey, that's that dude from fucking Third Rock from the Sun." That's how I
That's
remember
Dick.
that movie.
Dick from Third Rock. Yeah.
Boy, that was a good show too. That was
Alright.
a fucking good
Well,
show.
anyway, that's my number 6.
your
Vinno,
number
what
6.
is your number 6 movie?
So I'm going to
Seven.
keep in line with the action/fighter movies.
Cool.
This was
This makes me
my
nervous.
first. This is my
This is Aaron
first time
Brockovich.
that I saw Aaron Brockovich.
She's fighting for everyone out there. Fighting for
This
the
was
truth.
the first time that I'd seen this guy
A naked man.
in a movie. I'd seen his co-star. I'm going to ignore it.
Liam Neeson's already been mentioned, by the
He
way.
has. No, I'm not
Schindler's
talking
List.
Rob
Big
Roy.
dick
I'm not
bastard.
going to mention Rob Roy.
Rob Roy. Hold up. Stop for a minute, Reese. I mean, Vinno, whoever you are. Liam Neeson's dick is that big and that wide.
This is the second time
on,
I've
continue.
mentioned his dick this time, and this is the first time you picked up on it.
I would pick that up with 2 hands. Go
Yeah,
on, go
you
on.
would
go on,
struggle,
Vinno, let's go.
yes.
All right.
Does this hold on? Isn't Liam Neeson's dick in this movie?
No, it's not. Disappointing.
Go on
interested
anyway. Who
anymore?
cares? Go on
Go
anyway.
on,
Doesn't
do it.
matter.
So this is the first movie that I saw this guy, and then after that I went and watched a heap of his other ones. But this is what got me into this particular actor. So when
This
we're talking
sounds like
about
a dick
movies,
story.
It's not a dick
Sounds
story.
like another
It's not a
penis
dick story.
story.
So
Alright,
this
that's all right. We're all equal
this
opportunity
movie-
penis lovers here.
This movie stars Jean-Claude Van Damme,
Or maybe it is a dick story.
co-starred by the legendary Roger Moore. Now, if you don't know Roger Moore, he played James Bond.
That's right.
Yes. This is
I don't know
probably
this movie.
This is probably one of his lesser known movies, but we had this on VHS, and this was so the plot. I'll give you the movie name, and then I'll talk to you about briefly without giving it away, so you can go and watch it. The movie's called The Quest.
Never seen it.
I don't think
Never
I've seen
seen
this.
it, right? This is a fucking good movie.
Alright, I'm gonna write
Right.
it down now. Hold up.
So it'll relate to
Man
a lot
from
of people
Snowy Never, The Quest.
because basically Jean-Claude starts off as a vagrant or an orphan and a street rat. He ends up on getting roped into or taught Muay Thai and ends up in this competition. That's a very brief way of saying it without giving too much away. Befriended by Roger Moore's character, and he fights for a golden dragon throughout this
As you do.
competition. Yeah, so that's the quest. But like I said, we had that on VHS, and that was the first time I'd ever seen Jean-Claude Van Damme in a movie. And I already knew who Roger Moore was. I'd been a big fan of the James Bond series up until then. So I sort of, once I saw Roger Moore in it, I was a bit skeptical about the movie, and then because it was a bit, I didn't
It's
know.
B grade, right?
It is early.
Like,
early
you know what I
John
mean?
Claude
I don't mean
movies.
as in like it's shit.
No,
but
but
it's
early,
like it wasn't box office.
Yeah. No, it
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
Absolutely not. No. So, but the quest. Yeah. So
Does it start off when he's real old or something? Does the start of the
No.
movie start with like an old man telling a
Oh.
story about something? Because I think I might have seen it.
I think it.
I
does.
thought you were going to
Actually,
say
yes, it does.
Kickboxer.
It does.
I
Yes.
think I have seen that a long time ago.
Yeah.
I think I have. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. And that,
Yeah,
that's
he's
all I
talking.
remember
He's
of it.
talking, and then it takes him back to when he's on the street and with all the kids and stuff. Yeah, it's a good movie, man.
He's phenomenal, John
He
Claude.
is.
Before that, doing the splits was a dance move. No one knew that doing the
Yeah.
splits would kick the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Until Jean-Claude Van Damme did it in high-waisted pants.
He
That man can kick.
That man can kick. You shouldn't be able to lift your leg that high unless you're kicking a man in the face. And
But
he
it's
does
a-
that.
Yeah. He brought in. Well, that was the first time I suppose I'd seen Muay Thai as a kickboxing martial art as well, and then
But the muscles from Brussels. He was kickboxer. He was blood sport.
yeah.
I was about to say, I
He's
thought
fucking
you were
on
going to
another
say
level, Street Fighter.
Kickboxer.
But this is so
Yeah, I thought he was
he's
going to go kickboxer.
he's in Thailand in a lot of in a portion of this movie.
Which
fighting with-
kickboxer movie is it with the, like, when the dude gets his back broken?
Is that
It's like-
is that
it's
when
pretty
his
brutal.
brother or something like
Yeah.
that gets his back and he has to go avenge him?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that?
And he's got the big fella as his mate, the big American fella. And I think that's Bloodsport. I think that's Bloodsport.
Is it Bloodsport? I thought
But
it
it
was
might be
Kickboxer.
Kickboxer. It might be Kickboxer. They're all the same.
We'll have to go.
really.
We'll have to go and watch the two now. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Double Impact. Have you ever seen that one? There's two
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Dammes.
Oh, yeah.
That is-
Man, that was my shit growing up. There was funny, goofy Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then badass, motherfucking slick back hair Jean-Claude Van Damme who grew up on streets.
Tell you another one that was
Instead of silk underwear.
reminded me of that, but it's different, and it was a fucking awesome one with Jet Li. One. Did you
Yes.
ever see that?
Yeah.
Yes,
We was
dude.
going
only
all
watched
the
it,
alternative. That was
funnily
a fucking
enough, one
awesome
time.
movie. The
yeah.
big thing I remember about that is the fucking final scene. Papa Roach fucking playing as
Remember that era of kung fu movies like
Yeah.
Cradle to Grave and fucking.
Oh, man. DMX.
lady with
Well,
the
he made
dragon
a
tattoo,
lot of them.
girl with the dragon
Someone
tattoo.
he used to
yeah.
talk like he was dubbed. He's like, "Hello, my name is DMX. What are you doing?" Like he,
Does
he-
anyone
he-
remember-
He was a weird dude. Look,
Does anyone remember
he was a
Kung
weird
Pao?
motherfucker.
That rip-off.
Enter,
Oh, wait,
enter
wait,
the
wait.
fist.
I remember Kung Fu Hustle.
No, Kung Pao. Watch that.
Enter the fist.
The dog.
Shit was funny, bro.
Yeah, fucking so good.
Wait,
Anyway.
so also, to rewind it real quick, back to Shawshank. When
Well,
Colin
we're going-
picked up
let's
on
go
my,
back to the start
on
of
my
the
no,
episode.
when Colin picked up on my quote of it truly was a Shawshank Redemption from
That was
The
from a
Last
different
Man on
movie,
Earth.
right?
It was from the TV show The Last Man on Earth.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't realize until literally only the other week, and I can't believe I didn't pick up on it, that Tandy, the guy that says that in The Last Man on Earth, is actually the main character that plays MacGruber.
Yeah, right.
So, have you guys seen MacGruber?
Will Forte, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know,
He's a
but
Saturday Night
MacGruber is...
Live guy.
Yeah.
MacGruber.
MacGruber's
Yeah.
funny as fuck, bro.
I haven't watched it. I've seen because they used to do a skit on Saturday Night Live, MacGruber, which was a joke of MacGyver.
Exactly, yeah. Yep.
And they made a movie. I haven't watched it, but I've heard it's fucking it's
Dude,
good shit.
watch MacGruber.
I've heard it's hot rod tier. I've heard it's that level.
fucking
so I wanna watch it.
hilarious, dude. It's
Is it as
fucking
good as Hot
hilarious.
Shots, though?
Yes.
Oh, part 1 or 2. Part 2 is part 2. I probably watched more, but part 1 is the classic for me. Hot
Yeah.
Shots, because it's that's another one. Them and the Naked Gun movies are revolutionary
Oh,
in that
bro, Naked
parody.
Gun.
That
What
style
about
of
the-
parody.
What
before
about the
Scary
Police
Movie,
Academy?
you know?
Police Academy, the
Yeah,
first
that's
one.
great as well.
With
I was only
fucking-
talking about that with my wife, and she was like, "Do you remember Mahoney?" And he had a bun in the oven T-shirt and all at the start. And him, what's his name? He used to do gigs. What's his name? Winslow.
Yeah, Michael.
Remember, Michael. It might be Michael Winslow. I think
I
that's
know.
his name.
He
And he used
did
to do
the-
the voices.
he's famous. He came up again recently because of the skit that he did, where they did the Led Zeppelin.
Oh man, he does.
And he did
yeah,
the
whole
electric
lot of
guitar.
love.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
they go, "Wow." He does the whole thing, man.
The whole
He's
thing.
fucking so
It's
good.
fucking
man.
spot
It
on.
sounds
epic.
like an electric guitar.
Yeah.
Like he does
Really?
the lead guitar, with his
Distortion and
voice.
everything, man. It's
Yeah, he can do Jimi Hendrix as well. He does Voodoo Child perfect.
he's
like-
fucking
like,
amazing.
He can do anything with his voice. He used to do stand up. I used to actually rent them at fucking Civic Video. The Michael Winslow.
Remember Civic Video?
Year and a half. Yeah, man. I used to love that.
Look, wait.
surf
To
shop.
be
Especially when I
honest,
first came in.
can we give a cheers to Civic Video? Because I think if it wasn't for Civic,
R.I.P.
we probably
Civic
wouldn't be
Video.
doing this. We wouldn't be doing this right now.
fucking earth.
Oh, this. Yeah, you know what? This is dedicated and produced by Civic Video.
Yeah, and fuck Video Easy because you guys kicked Civic Video out. Fuck Video,
Easy guarantee.
All right.
Yeah.
Actually,
Wait, where-
no.
Video
no.
Easy.
In Singleton, and I'm going to say this, Civic Video outlasted Video Easy. It did.
Actually, yeah,
It did because the mayor of Singleton, I think, actually owned fucking not Video Easy. Yeah,
Civic Video.
Civic Video.
There you go. All right,
What's
let's
in
move
those
on.
shops now? What's in those shops now?
Evidence
been
is
there in a
in
long
Civic
time.
Videos. The surf
Okay,
shop.
what's is RM Williams still where
It
Video
was.
Easy was? Oh, so not RM
Aaron
Williams.
Williams, or
what's
using
fucking-
Rivers. No, it was the gym.
Is
Rivers,
Singleton
Rivers,
Hi-Fi
Rivers.
still going?
Yeah,
Singer Hi-Fi?
not Sound Solutions though.
Oh, fuck.
Sound Solutions done.
Sound Solutions is now a mobile service run by a couple of really good blokes.
I got
you
me
ever-
fucking
If you ever need your
I
sound,
got my audio system in the EL Falcon put in there.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
No, let's-
Kenwood. Up in your foreskin. Yeah.
All right, moving
Right
on. We're
up
on
there.
to our last ones for the night.
Wait, we're at the
Sevens now.
tippy
Okay,
top.
yeah, yeah,
Here we go.
Number 7, boys. Good
Before
work.
we do this, I think Reecey has something that he wants to talk about as far as beverages. Is that correct?
Everybody, this is Reese's Beer of the Week. Hit the music.
All right. Vinno gets to have his fucking weekly whiskey or his fucking stupid Scotchley,
Scotch of the Week.
whatever it's fucking called. Who fucking cares? What we really want to talk about is the beer of the week. And for me, it's nothing but the very best. Because the very best is the only choice to make. That's fucking VB.
Victoria Beckham.
Every single fucking time. And I know for a fact that even though Vinno's like a top shelf spirit drinker, this man enjoys a VB too.
Now I'm
Hey?
gonna.
What
I'm
did
gonna
they used
say
to call that back in
when-
the day? Vaginal
many.
backwash?
vaginal backwash,
Visit-
vomit bombs.
yeah.
There's so many.
Visitor's
There's so
beer.
many slurs,
Vaginal vagina.
but it's only the best ever gets fucking ripped on, doesn't it? So
That's right. I used to be one of those people, and it's, you know what? It's uncultured
Look,
people, and they don't understand.
I'll confirm with
So-
Reecey. Yes, if I'm having a cold
It's a
brew
good
on
beer.
a hot summer day, I'm gonna crack a tinny of the very best.
I'll say this as someone that doesn't, because I think the thing when you come to Australia, beers are quite. It's like state of origin, right? You Queensland, you got your beer.
It's
Victoria, you got
it's
your beer.
VBs
New
everywhere.
South Wales.
These
Yeah.
ones are all empty now.
That's the way they should be. Yeah.
I've had a couple.
But I will say, VB, when I came here, seems to get the most hate compared to the other beers. And when I tried it, I was surprised because it is a nice crisp lager. If you got that shit nice and cold, it's also got its own little. If you were to get it in a bottle, they've got the smaller bottles. It's a bit more like it's a nicer feel to it. So I don't like. I like
On a-
VB. I think
on
it's
a
a good
fucking
beer,
hot
but it
day-
gets a lot of shit.
Oi,
Yeah,
a
look,
lot of
it's
shit.
I'm gonna
the
say,
bottles.
if
The
you're
bottles
on
are
a-
like me. They're smaller and they fit in your hand better.
If it's
Yeah.
a fucking hot day and you've been
It's
working
like me.
your
It's a
prick
bit like
out,
ourselves, boys.
right? I will say, out of all the beers, a VB fucking hits different. It's fucking
Yes,
refreshing.
it does. It's very. It really is for a hard-earned thirst.
It is.
There's no.
So?
They've literally got everything right about it. There's nothing wrong.
Aren't crownies VBs, but just like it's a different part of the barrel or some shit?
Yeah, you pay about fucking $80 more a carton.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's the same
Fuck, I
company,
haven't
right?
heard of Crownies in years, man.
Actually, I haven't had a
I had
Crownie
one the other
in a
night,
minute.
brother. It was just
Did
the
you
only one
really?
I recognised on the. It was only the only one I recognised. I went out with Smoke from the Conor
yeah.
McGregor episode, and we went to a steak place in Canberra called Charcoal. And you ask him, he said that was the best steak he's ever had in his life.
Right.
Also, I was like, whoa, fuck yeah, and it was a fucking good steak, man. And it was probably up there in my top steaks ever.
Why didn't you take
But
us there?
I got
right.
a Crownie that night.
Why didn't you take us there?
Yeah. It
Next
was
time
just
we're
one of the
down,
only beers I recognised.
next time we're down in Canberra, Dave's going to take us to Charcoal.
Let's
Yeah,
go
we
to
better.
Charcoal, everybody.
Let's
It
do a
was the
live
best. You
episode
ask
in
Smoke.
Charcoal.
Ask Smoke, he's one of your Singo boys. He'll tell you that's the shit.
Sweet.
Remember the red heifer in Singo? You used to be able to,
Yeah.
was it the Impy? And you
Yep.
used to be able to make your own steak. Well,
Cook
not
your own
make,
steak.
you know, obviously not rear your own cattle and murder it to death and eat. But you could cook your own steak.
Wait, actually, I went to a place in the Rocks in Sydney where you ordered your food.
I love the
And if you wanted a steak, you got your steak and you actually cooked it yourself. It was fucking awesome.
That was like the red heifer. Yeah.
Yeah, the red heifer in Singo used to do that. It was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Impy. So it was
You'd
the
order your
restaurant
steak and
the
they'd
Impy
give
out
it
the
to you,
back.
and you'd go and they had a grill out the back there. You
Yeah,
go
right.
grill.
grill.
No,
did
I
all
was
the
too
dry
busy
rubs,
spilling
remember?
the tables
All the
and
dry
getting
rubs.
kicked out. So.
Anyway,
But
so
yeah, that was the
Reese's
first time I'd ever seen anything like that.
Reese's beer of the week, VB. Cue music.
Yes.
Cue that music.
Fuck yeah. I'm drunk.
All right. Welcome back from Reese's beer of the week.
I have to
see if
say
that
that's an improvement of our weekly beverages.
Thank you, sir.
Nah,
I
it's not
appreciate
okay.
you. I appreciate
no,
you.
that's no Tullamore due, mate. But
Wait,
Yeah.
well, there's
It's
nothing.
still pretty
wait,
good.
Everything's
Still
an
pretty good.
improvement from killing Jews. Let's just say that.
I'm just going to pretend I didn't hear that. Anyway, Reese, you're number 7 for the week.
Am
Oh,
I?
you should have had 7 as number 7. You should have fucking
should have
done
done.
7 as number 7 of our top 7.
Look. That's where it was. It's
know what,
where
though?
it was. But I decided to kick it off because I thought it's a fucking
was a
good
good
movie.
Yeah.
It was the best. It was a great choice.
I didn't even
That's
know I
another
was gonna
movie that
go
I'm going to have to go
first.
back and watch, actually.
So you have. So you've only watched it a little bit, have you?
It's been a while since I've watched it.
Oh,
That is
I watched it
epic.
so
I hate to go back to our number 1 when we're on number 7, but
Yeah.
7, fuck.
It's great.
Rehash
2
never
great
hurts.
actors.
But-
Brad Pitt is another unsung hero. Go on.
He
Sorry,
really
Reese.
is. No. You're fine. Because I feel like this entire journey of movies that we've been taking, it's kind of been a bit of a highway, if I could say. And
I tell you what is a fucking highway and what is a journey. Your level of
Life.
drunkenness. You have started at a fucking
Highway.
pretty normal level, and look at your shine on you. You can't even keep your
Listen.
eyes open. Bro.
listen, I finished work this morning, mate. I've come
Mate,
off
I
night
feel ya.
shift.
I feel ya.
I've eaten fuck all. I've only got 3 tins out of 12 beers left, so I'm feeling.
You're on these
That's
nuts,
it.
man. You're feasting on those
And,
nuts,
oi.
mate. Get the bag out. Get that sack of nuts out.
I'm spilling them everywhere. I've got the
Hey.
fucking the Coles savoury mix, and I've been snacking them. You've seen, if you've paid attention,
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
seen. And from what I've
But
gathered
anyway.
this week, is people actually take notice of what I'm doing during these films, because
You look at that little boy. He was like, that was the most daintiest little boy I've ever seen. I love it. It makes me horny. Yeah, moving on.
Anyway,
putting
Reece,
nuts
we're
in
on a
my mouth
highway.
makes
We're on
you
a
horny.
highway of movies.
yeah, we're
Life
on a
is
highway. And I'd reckon this is a pretty dangerous highway if you're picking up
Is
what
it
I'm
a
putting
Fury?
down.
Road?
It's
I feel there's going to be a max in this.
No, if we're in a place of of danger would you be happy to call it a zone?
Highway
I love this.
the danger zone.
And actually,
I reckon-
before you say it, did we allude to a movie that was a satirical rip-off of that earlier on in a Charlie Sheen?
Potentially.
We
Potentially.
did. Yes.
Potentially we may have.
Goodness
Yeah.
gracious, great balls of fire.
We might have goose stepped
goose.
around this.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Vinno. That's one of your best.
Here.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna cheers to that.
Cool
I'm
down.
gonna
Yeah,
cheers
fuck
to
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So look, arguably one of the best movies ever made. Look, see, no arguments. That's what I like to hear.
I will argue in a
Now,
minute.
hang on,
I'm just
hang
gonna
on.
Give you your moment.
So
Terrible
this is-
movie. Go on.
This is, you were alluding to Dave mentioning about, some of the movies that you were surprised he didn't mention, and there's one of the biggest actors in that series, isn't there? In this one, that you're about to mention?
Played
Yeah.
one of my favorite characters.
Yes.
Yeah, look.
In a
When it was
subpar
mentioned earlier,
movie.
I was a little nervous. I thought it might have come about. I can't believe I've made it through all 7 picks and no one's stepped on my toes, because I kind of went pretty commercial with these picks. But just another choice that makes 1986 the best year ever. So
Are you
we've already-
86, are you?
We've already got me. We've already got the VL.
Fuck, that's a long
And
time
now
ago,
we've got
Reece.
Top Gun.
That's a
And that's
long
my
Top
choice
Gun.
number 7. Fucking Top Gun.
What a movie.
Mate, it's...
I didn't like Top Gun.
Didn't you?
Can I just say that? I know it's an unpopular decision, and I know there's... Can I just say, in the bar when they're doing She's Lost That Love and Feeling and Great Balls of Fire, epic. The Losing Goose, epic. Maverick, Iceman, epic. But to me, I feel like it was overrated. I know that's
You just mentioned like
That's an
2/3 of the
unpopular-
movie and said it was epic, and you're still
Yeah,
saying...
no,
this.
great scenes. Like, there's great scenes in the movie that I think are cinematically
Do
really
you
cool.
now? Knowing
just
you-
gonna-
But
Hang
I
on.
don't like. I hated the movie. Watching it,
Dave,
if you
I'm
know
going
what
to put
I
this
mean.
to you. I'm going to put
Do you
this
know
to you,
what I
and this is just my theory. Knowing you, do you view Top Gun more so as, for the era that it was made in, more of a propaganda movie?
Nah,
And is that why you? No.
no, man. I love heaps of war movies. I fucking love.
No.
war
I'm
movies.
just.
Or
like,
fire
for the-
movies. It's not even a propaganda movie. I wouldn't say. Soldiers
Yeah.
are different to wars. I'm
I'm just trying to understand why you're just. You
I just
hate,
thought it
hate
was
so many
shit.
good movies.
And I like Tom Cruise. Like, I love A Few Good Men. I like Oblivion. I like fucking
hate
Edge
Cool
of
Runnings.
Tomorrow. I like A Few Good Men. To me is one of the best fucking courtroom dramas of all time. And Tom Cruise is phenomenal in that. He is
Jack
phenomenal.
Nicholson in
Jack Nicholson
that.
is unreal. Jack Nicholson is the best. That's one of his best, again, epic scenes. But if the rest of A Few Good Men was shit, I could still be like, you know what, that Jack Nicholson scene was great. You know what I mean? And I would not like the rest of A Few Good Men. I feel
just
that way
channel-
about Top Gun.
Can I channel...
But I recognise the legendariness.
Can I channel a little bit of Vinno and just say that if you don't like it, get the fuck
It seems
out.
like that's not true.
I feel like if you don't like Top Gun,
Well,
Say
hey,
it.
look, I
Just say
feel
it.
like if you like
Say
Top
it.
Gun,
get the fuck out.
I think you should drop your thumb, and then you're the guy who likes Top Gun.
Oh shit!
See,
dude.
Reecey, this is Dave. This is Dave being wrong.
I like the
but
idea
refusing to
of
acknowledge
Top
that he's
Gun.
wrong.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Look,
do you know what?
I already
Okay,
did acknowledge.
no,
I said
no.
I know this is something that is very popular and well liked, and I was even ready to be charitable and saying, look, I do think it has great scenes in it. And I even named some of those said scenes. I just said the rest of the movie to me is hot, flaming garbage.
Well, I'm gonna say
You heard it here first.
I'm gonna say
And you know what? I think Hot Shots Part 1 is a better version of Top Gun. With
I'm
a
gonna
sexier Maverick.
say I'm going to say that Dave
And better
you
music.
and I
Fight.
have just become closer in this episode.
I like it, yeah.
Do you know why?
Closer
Because-
to what?
No,
Fight?
me
Keep
and
your
you,
friends-
me and
Top
you.
Keep
me
your friends
and you
close
have
and your
become-
enemies closer. That's
No,
why.
no, 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 no. Because me and you, me and you have just become closer as people, as friends, as however you want to say it. Because, like you, I also hate when people are wrong. Yeah.
So that's self-hatred you got. How's that manifesting within you? Can I just say, I don't think you're wrong. I think it's a movie and it's arbitrary. Really. Whereas some people like Vinno last week were literally
Top
wrong.
Gun is a movie.
Top Gun's a
Notice
movie
how
and,
he's-
and it's like a piece
see
of
how he's
music.
trying to
It's
throw
like
it,
how
just-
I...
Fucking footy pass it straight on.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm talking.
Just let
Sorry,
me mute
mate.
Davey.
Sorry, mate.
What was that? Sorry.
I love it. Oh, fuck it. Or he's
So
actually
he's doing the
muting
Kung
him.
Pao. He's doing the Kung
Yeah, I'm
Pao.
only joking. I'm not. But
No, you are now.
No, look,
I fell
gave
for that.
it there.
I
I
fell
was
for
just
that.
trying to
You
be
are
My
honest.
drunkenness.
It was a movie I wanted to like. I wanted to like Top Gun, and I've watched it multiple times, and I like those scenes. I connect with them. They're cool, but I didn't like the way. I can't put my finger on it, but it's just not something I like.
Fair enough.
That's
cool.
I like there's
Oi,
some
that's
scenes in
fine,
there that
that's
are really
fine.
good.
Art is subjective. Yep.
Yeah, it's like
Oi.
Batman movies. There's some people that love some Batman movies, and some people that think that some Batman movies are flaming hot piles of garbage.
Let's just
some of the
say
movies
that,
I love as Batman are.
Take My Breath Away is the result of many kitty boners for me. I cracked
Yeah.
many a stiffy over that. I mean,
Hot
it
Shots
pretty,
made it great.
A fucking
Great
warm
version
breeze
of that when
blows
they ate
past
the
and you
food.
crack a fucking
it pretty much
No, but-
created Val Kilmer's movie career.
Yeah, so that was
Arguably one of
for
his
anyone
best.
guessing.
And
Have you ever seen?
and he didn't even want to do the movie. He didn't want to be in it.
But he had
Ended
done
up being one of his biggest movies ever. And
Yeah.
you know what? That attitude
He's
kind of
known
showed
for
out
that.
in Iceman, I reckon. Yeah.
Val Kilmer was great, great actor.
Look, I'm going
But
to say I thought
Tom
he was
Cruise,
better in
fantastic actor.
Batman. I thought he was better in Batman.
Who?
Val Kilmer.
You thought he was better in Batman or the best Batman? What did you say?
No, better in Batman. I
Oh
wouldn't
yeah. But again, I'll agree with you because I think it's flaming garbage.
Oh, look, I'm being
I think he was better in Willow. Have you ever seen Willow, the movie? When he plays a character called Mad Mardigan.
No.
It's like a fantasy Lord of the Rings type movie, and Val Kilmer
right.
plays like a swordsman. Fucking unreal. Willow. That
See,
could've
when
been
I
another
think of
option.
Batman, Val Kilmer's not a person I think of.
Oh, he was our era though. He was that Jim Carrey.
I love
two-faced
Batman Forever. I think that's a great Batman part of the
Hey,
series.
we might end up having to chat about this soon.
We will. So let's just stop. But what
Oh, we
we're gonna
will,
do,
will we?
What we're going to do is move on to Dave's number 7.
But you
My
can't
last
move
one
on
is a
from Top
Batman
Gun.
movie. But it's not Val Kilmer's Batman. It's not George Clooney's Batman. It's not Ben Affleck's Batman. It's not Robert Pattinson's Batman, if you haven't seen
Fuck
that yet,
us
although
off,
I have
Ben
high
Affleck's
hopes.
Batman.
So it's between two Batmans for me. I wanted to put a Batman movie on here. And I have two Batmans. I have, obviously, Michael Keaton Batman. And I have Christian Bale Batman.
Christian Bale. Yeah.
Hang on.
I
I'm
said-
going to stop you there before those two actors, right, when you were talking about Batman, you've both got to mention the two Jokers that were involved in those two series of Batmans, right? So you've got Jack Nicholson, who was
The
just
Meister.
an iconic Batman, iconic Joker, sorry. And then you've got Heath Ledger, who played a completely different Joker, who has just been almost impossible to follow through.
He reimagined the whole character.
He did.
And he did that locked up in a room.
And
Now-
I think that's an honourable mention for
It
when
might
you
be. It might be a
even
real
mentioning
mention.
even mentioning those two. He might be.
It might be the real. It might be the Dark Knight, but it's not.
But
That's
because
not
you're
my-
mentioning
my-
Batman and the movie's title is Batman, I thought it
There's
was just
another
good to
Joker
mention.
you're not mentioning.
We are not.
Joaquin Phoenix.
No.
Or Mark Hamill might be my Joker. To be honest with you, growing up.
Yes, I thought he was going to be. I thought he was going to be a dick and go another way, but
no. Here, my
What other way is
favorite
there?
Batman movie of all time is Batman Begins, and this is the first Christian Bale Batman, with Ra's al Ghul and the Scarecrow and the League of Shadows and all. Because this is the I love The Dark Knight, and that might be one of my favorite movies too. But the importance of Batman Begins to me, and how seriously they took the character and the backstory, and the actors, the level of the actors, and how seriously they took these characters, blew me away. So obviously Christian Bale had just came off The Machinist as well. Christian Bale in The Machinist, if you ever
lost
seen
a lot
it,
of
he
weight
was
for that,
skin
right?
and bones.
Yeah.
He literally for months only would eat an apple
Apples.
a day and chewing
Yep.
gum,
Yeah.
and he nearly died.
Fucking insane.
And Christopher Nolan was like, fuck you, had already signed him before that to play Batman because of, I think, Equilibrium or whatever he did in American Psycho. He was like, this is the guy I want to play Bruce Wayne. And he's like, Christian Bale, he was like, what are you going to do? You're fucking going to be Batman in a couple of months. And Christian Bale's like, don't worry, I'll put the weight back on and all. And he showed up for Batman Begins too heavy. And if you watch Batman Begins, that's the heaviest he was as Batman. He was a fucking bear, and he was huge. If you watch those scenes when he's training with Liam Neeson and the League of Shadows, it's unbelievable. And you had Maroni and Falcone, and you had all these underworld characters of Gotham that just weren't mentioned before in the old Tim Burton movies and the more popular McDonald's fucking toy movies. And I just it was huge for me. And obviously that came in around 2005, so that was when I'm a bit older. So I want an older Batman.
Well,
because when I was a kid, it was all Michael Keaton, animated series, and Adam West.
So the last Batman we had
whoa.
prior to that was George Clooney.
George Clooney.
And
That's right.
Yeah, and so you'd gone
Michael
from
Schumacher Batman movies.
Yeah. So you'd gone from the one before that was,
Forever,
it had
with Kilmer.
Batman Forever. Yes, but you had
Started
Jim
to get very
Carrey.
silly.
You had Jim Carrey. You had Tommy Lee Jones. With Batman and Robin, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger. You had George
Thurman.
Clooney. You had big names in there.
Poison
And then the
Ivy and Uma Thurman and Chris O'Donnell and Alicia. Batgirl was in Alicia
but the-
Silverstone.
Oh man!
And then
don't
we
even
didn't
start
hear from
Alicia
The
Silverstone.
first Bane.
We didn't hear from Batman though for a long time, and then the next thing we see is Christian
Christopher
Bale.
Nolan.
Yeah,
Batman movie, yeah.
so Christian Bale at the time known for American Psycho, so
What a movie!
that's a huge fucking
that's
step,
up
you
there
know?
for me.
That could have
too.
been in this too.
100% could have been.
It could have been,
That's
but
that's a weird,
so you've gone from
awesome, flippy of mind movie.
you've gone from what Christian Bale one extreme with the, like you were saying, the comedic type Batman, the cartoony style. Series.
But people forget how dark the Tim Burton ones were for their time too.
Yeah.
Like the first and second, the reason why they went to the Schumacher ones in Forever was because literally the toy manufacturers were like, I can't sell this Catwoman in bondage gear. I can't sell this scary as fuck Danny DeVito penguin. How am I supposed to put that in a Happy Meal?
Man, I remember.
So then they were like, all right.
I remember
let's
watching
figure
Danny
it out.
DeVito as the Penguin and being fucking terrified of him.
Biting noses, dribbling,
Arguably
black, dribbling.
the hottest man on earth.
Who?
Sorry,
Danny DeVito.
what about
He's a
The
legend.
He's the sexiest man in the world.
Arguably one of the
But
best
as a-
directors too. He directed Man on the Moon, Andy Kaufman movie, and he did some great shit, man. And Matilda, the children's
Yeah.
movie,
Oh, bro, that is such a good
I love
movie.
Matilda, and he directed
Fucking
that.
love Matilda,
And
man.
That to
Great
me will
movie.
make me cry. That's that.
Yeah.
My daughter's starting to love Matilda now as well, so it's whipping up all this
You
shit.
can't hear the
Oh,
theme song from that movie and not
Yeah.
be drawn instantly.
It's just
back
a
to
great.
that era.
Wait,
Matilda's
Matilda,
classic.
that's Roald Dahl, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Roald
the
Dahl.
originally
Yeah,
Roald
yeah,
Dahl
yeah.
book,
Roald Dahl.
Matilda, about the supernatural, the girl whose parents were and Trunchbull.
BFG.
Miss Honey, that teacher,
Oh.
man. Oh. But Batman Begins, Katie Holmes, you had Liam Neeson again. I'm going to get Liam Neeson in there because Liam Neeson ain't going to get himself in there. unless
No,
you
he
are
needs
well
multiple movies to even fit.
He needs multiple holes.
Yeah.
No, Liam Neeson, great as Ra's al Ghul in here. He taught Batman
Look,
how to do
I'm-
shit.
I'm
Hang on,
gonna say
who played Alfred in that? Dave, can you give us the voice?
Hello, Michael
Hello,
Keaton
mate.
played Alfred. Some people just want to watch the world burn.
Bird, that's right.
Her vagina was the size of a tangerine.
Michael Keaton.
My brother does a fucking perfect Michael Keaton.
Oh,
Kane.
we
not
tried
Michael
to
Keaton.
Kane.
we tried to
I
get
don't
him
know.
on episode 1.
Well, he did say it. It just it didn't pick up in a microphone because he was standing next to
What
me.
were you going to say there, Reece? You're going to say something there?
No, I was going to say I think Christian Bale is my favorite Batman.
Yeah,
He's a great Bruce Wayne as well. Because
Yeah.
what he played the whole playboy drunk Bruce Wayne like at the party perfect and crashing his
100%.
car and showing up with hoes and like he was fantastic as Bruce Wayne. Fantastic.
So when it comes to Batman movies for me,
Bruce Wayne is the mask, by the way. That's the beauty of it all. That's the way I always look at it. Bruce Wayne is the mask and Batman's what he wants to be doing at night.
Yeah.
And that's the real tortured motherfucking the real Bruce Wayne. Oh, I
For
love
me-
Batman.
for me, when
as
it
a
comes to
kid. I love
Batman's-
Batman.
Batman movies, it's Michael Keaton in Batman with Jack Nicholson. That was a fucking classic.
Yeah.
And then after
And
that,
taken
for me,
seriously and dark too.
yeah.
The first
Batman-
one in the black suit.
After that, like as much as I liked Batman Returns, Batman Forever is the next one that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, Batman
yeah, I like
Forever
that
is
Because
awesome.
Riddler and Two-Face,
Yeah.
you know, I like Tommy
Jim
Lee
Car-
Jones and I like Jim Carrey. It was a
Robin
cool
Williams
movie.
was supposed to play the Riddler. Did you know
There
that?
you go. I didn't know that. No.
He was supposed
Look,
to
he
play
would have
the
been-
Riddler.
that
There
would
was
have
some
been-
Jim
signing
Carrey killed
issue.
it, but either one of those would have been great.
Yeah, I think that Robin Williams might have been a bit more psychotic. Robin Williams, when he goes serious, like in 1 Hour Photo and stuff, is a creepy, serious fucking actor. Jim Carrey's
Speaking
got
of-
some serious
speaking
acting
of
too,
Robin
like
Williams,
Man in the
and
Moon
it's-
and all.
This is an honourable mention. One of his movies that is extremely powerful, funny. He plays a doctor, and I'm trying to think of the name of the movie.
Patch Adams or
Patch Adams,
yeah,
where he's
or
a
is it
doctor and his,
Awakenings?
no, it's his
Is it-
wife or
is
his
it the one
girlfriend
with
gets killed
Robert
by
De
the
Niro?
patient. No, it's where his wife gets killed by the patient. And Patch Adams.
Patch Adams.
Patch
Yeah,
Adams.
that's sad, dude.
But there's
Man,
another one
that's-
called Awakenings where he plays the doctor with Robert De Niro, and Robert De Niro
Yeah,
is
okay.
like in a coma, and,
No, I haven't-
and he comes in and he does some weird stuff to try and bring him back to awaken him because he's been in a coma since he was a kid, and Robert De Niro plays a fucking like a very disabled person. But Robin Williams,
Do you remember Junior?
Just
Junior, where he played the. Is it called Junior?
Jack,
You
Junior
meant
is
Jack.
when,
Jack.
I
is when
mentioned
Arnold
Jack. I
Schwarzenegger had
mentioned
a
Jack
baby.
in a
That's right.
previous episode.
Jack.
Because we
Jack
talked
Jack
about
Jack
Fran
Jack
Drescher.
phenomenal too.
It was.
Yeah.
I remember
love
watching
Jack.
that, and not understanding the concept behind it until later. But it was.
Oh
fucking-
man,
Robin
It's the
Williams,
reverse-
man.
Yeah.
Like,
Oi, imagine
And the
being
great Bill
10 year
Cosby was in
old.
that too.
Oi, imagine being 10-year-old and getting the chance to put it in Fran Drescher.
Oh well, we only talked about Fran Drescher.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
And that's why I
Ah,
brought it up last time.
She is beautiful. And Jack, you know what? Jack is a sad movie.
It is
It
very
a-
sad.
and it's deep as fuck. And the way he's able to act like a little insecure kid and all. Robin Williams, I think, is one of the most slept on actors now. And I think it's ultimately because he made a lot of money doing comedies and stuff. But his serious shit, even in Good Will Hunting, when he is phenomenal in that.
even some of his funniest movies, man, have very serious undertones, and you see
Definitely.
that in Mrs. Doubtfire, right?
oh
and-
man, I
fucking
love
love
Mrs.
Because
Mrs.
it is
Doubtfire,
so powerful in regards to the extremes that a father would go to see
Yeah.
or spend time with his children. You know, and even though it is one of my favorite movies, right? Because
It's a comedy.
it
but
is hilarious, but it has very serious undertones and very realistic undertones that I think people in that situation could relate to. And you see that at the end when he's in the courtroom, you know, and when that scene,
he's broken in that scene.
he is because, you know, it's that realization that holy fuck, you know, I've lost it all by being stupid, but it was that need to see his kids and want to spend time with his kids, and that being taken away because of somebody who didn't
Yeah.
understand him, and
But
That is
that
extremely
scene
powerful.
is great with Sally Field, right? Because you see her breaking that. Because
That's
she
right.
sees him, his true self or whatever. That
And
maybe
if
the
you're
reason
one
she
of those
loved him-
people that has watched that movie and doesn't understand or relate to that, and still withholds their kids from their father, go fuck
he's gonna
yourself.
do it. Oh, I thought you were
Right.
gonna say get the fuck out.
You can get the fuck out, but you can get fucked as well. Right?
Oh,
I was
fuck
like,
it.
why are they
Jesus.
still in here? Why are these
Yeah.
people still in here? Vinno should have kicked these out years ago.
If they are still in here and they're not
How did we
listening
get
to
on
what
to
I'm
Mrs.
saying,
Doubtfire?
because this is not the first time I've said it, and you still haven't picked up on the message, you're a fucking idiot. Right? Get the fuck
Get the
out.
fuck out.
Hey,
Anyway.
how the fuck did we get talking to Mrs. Doubtfire?
We did.
Because
Anyway.
Robin Williams
Robin
was supposed
Williams.
to be the Riddler.
Yeah. So that
Of a
was
different Batman movie.
Number
But Batman
7.
Begins. That's my number 7. It was the start of the Nolan trilogy and a very serious undertaking of Batman. Loved it, and it caught me at a good age too.
But it was the
But
start
Vinno-
of a really good series too. Fantastic.
Oh, man, and possibly spawned. It spawned the first Oscar-winning role in a comic book movie, which was Heath Ledger's best supporting actor as the Joker.
Fantastic.
And I also love
All right.
in
Oh,
the DC universe though, like the cross, like Arrow and stuff, like Ra's al Ghul and everything.
yeah,
It's all
the
incorporated.
League of Shadows.
Yeah.
Well,
it's-
actually, if you
it's-
watch, did you watch that Arrow TV show?
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I watched the first two seasons, then I dropped out of it. God, the fella who played Deathstroke, man, in that fucking was unfucking real. The Arrows, and you know, the first series of Arrow is very like Batman Begins.
Yeah,
Because it's
100%.
that same
I
style,
haven't watched
and
it,
it's
I
about
might have to.
Arrow.
I love
Green
Arrow,
is
bro.
basically like a Batman. Oliver McQueen, I think his name is.
Yeah, that's
Oliver
right. Yeah.
McQueen is
Oliver Queen.
basically he's like a mix between Robin Hood and Batman.
He's
Yeah.
a billionaire that
And
is an
the
Avenger.
first
by
two
night
seasons
kind of
are epic, and Deathstroke has never been done. Even in movies, they're trying to get what Joe Malanaghi or whatever his name is to play him in the new thing. But the fella who plays him, he's a Kiwi guy who
Yeah.
plays him in Deathstroke. Oh, he's fucking unreal, man. And
He's
he's
awesome.
Arrow's old mate.
I'm going to quickly say
First two seasons, definitely.
shout out to the Kiwi actors, right? Because over the last
Sure.
few years, they have really been making a fucking dent in Hollywood and the movie industry.
Particular Jake the Musk,
Just shout out to Kiwis in general.
the Mandalorian. Not the Mandalorian, fucking Boba Fett. The new Boba Fett movie, Jake the
Yeah.
Musk is back. That could have been in my top 7 too. Once We're Warriors.
Yes, once we're warriors.
That shocked
fucking
me.
oath.
Someone actually, when I moved to Australia, someone was like, "Oh yeah, there's lots of Aussie movies." And I know this isn't an Aussie movie; it's a Kiwi movie, but it's very known over here, and I hadn't heard of it. And I put that on like a level like Chopper, because it's stylized and it's a part of an era.
eggs.
Where's Uncle fucking Bully, man.
Yeah,
Gracie,
fucking
Gracie.
serious.
Man, that is some serious, deep fucking acting. I don't know. I don't want to steal your 7 in
Anyway,
case that was it.
we
and I
won't.
don't
No,
want
no,
to
no,
keep
no,
some
no.
runners up.
fucking
You're well,
eggs.
you're well and truly away
Oh,
from.
she's rough, man. She's a fantastic actress too. Beautiful. Did you ever see the second one?
No, I haven't.
No.
There's a second Once We're Warriors. What's it called again? Fuck. What Becomes of the Broken Hearted is the name of the movie. And it's Jake Musk gets out of jail after killing Bully. And his son's joined is killed by the gang, and he's kind of been a good guy now, Jake. Like trying to, oh man, watch it. But it's nowhere near the same. It's not it might even ruin Once We're Warriors. Don't watch it. Don't watch it. But it is, if you care about
Don't
the
listen to
story.
Dave.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. A non-recommendation from your old Dava here. But Vinno, to close us off and to close
us
off all
off.
the top 7s.
Right.
What is your number
So
7?
I'm gonna go with one that was pretty powerful. It was a fictional movie, however, there is aspects of this that have been credited as being the most accurate depiction of the D-Day landings ever. To the point
Oh, this
where a
was
disclaimer,
nearly me.
when it first came out and when it was first shown on TV, there was a disclaimer attached. And there was also contact information for counselling services for World War II veterans. right? It was made in
Yeah.
1998, and it's got some pretty big names in it. So Tom Hanks, Matt Damon,
Vin Diesel.
who else we got in there? Sorry?
Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel's in that,
Vin
right?
Diesel. Yeah.
So the movie I'm talking about, if you haven't seen it already, get the fuck out, because you should have, is Saving Private Ryan.
Fucking oath, man.
Huge,
I
Made a
literally-
great porno about it as well.
huge movie.
Shaving Ryan's privates. No,
But
it
it was a
Epic
huge movie,
movie.
and the first time I saw this was when it was on TV, and I was, because I was only young when it first came out, and I remember the disclaimer because it got shown on the TV, and I was sitting there with Mum and Dad, and they said, right, you can watch the start, and that's it. And it felt strange to me that they showed
The
me that
first
part
40
before.
minutes is the most brutal
first-
part.
Yeah,
Exactly,
man, that's
exactly.
the fucking
And
landing
I-
on the beach.
I think
Yeah,
think
you can
at
watch the
time,
start,
right,
then go to
because-
bed. All right.
Yeah,
cool.
No, but this is my theory, and Mum and Dad, you can probably confirm if you're watching this. At the time, myself and my older brother were talking about joining the army, and he was talking about the Air Force, right? And this movie
Push you
came.
away from it.
Yeah. So this movie came on the TV, and they said you can watch the start. And the disclaimer at the start said, if any stage throughout this, this shows the depictions of D-Day, and I had no idea what D-Day was at the time. Shows
Not quite January 6th, but another month. June 6th.
It's very
June
like
6th.
January 6th, you might
June
say,
6th.
Vinno.
Oh.
Very D-Day. Very like January 6th.
You just done that. You just don't get over things really well, do you?
I'll
But
agree
yes.
with you, Vinno. The disclaimer at the start, at the press
The
screenings,
disclaimer
they
is-
had World War veterans that were there that
Yeah.
were smelling diesel while they were watching it.
Well, there was
They
some
had
that
to
walked
leave.
out that broke down. Yeah,
They had
so
to leave,
the
yeah.
disclaimer itself, seeing that as a kid before a movie was pretty confronting, right? Now, mind you, this is the same people, the same parents that wouldn't let me watch the scene in Braveheart where his father was
That's
killed,
another
right?
movie. That's
So
another
they-
The
movie.
hanging barn
Yeah.
thing.
So they wouldn't let me watch that, but they let me watch the start of this, and I'm 100% convinced that it was because they were trying to deter me from that. But and it's still one of my favourite movies. But that depiction
100%.
of the D-Day landing and the impact that it has had on so many people is tremendous, and I think that with the work that Tom Hanks has done since Saving Private Ryan, with Band of Brothers and The Pacific, in those TV
Yes.
series. If you haven't watched those, get on and watch them. Band
Fucking
of Brothers
right.
is still one of my most favourite TV series because
And the
it's
Pacific.
just
Yeah.
yeah. The Pacific was a bit different because it showed the home front a lot as well.
Fucking COVID. Fucking Brovid.
But Saving Private Ryan,
Social distance, boys.
it's very powerful in
Better
a
out,
lot
better
of the story. Like, even though it is fictional from after the D-Day landing, there is a few truths in there in regards to whole families or whole siblings being involved in those
that's
and
right.
being lost,
Yeah.
and that gets shown throughout other aspects of Tom Hanks's work as well.
Well, they're
But
trying to
it-
mitigate that damage to the American family, right, by making
Yeah.
sure that this war didn't wipe out every family. And
Now-
that's who Ryan was. It was an accident, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't the whole idea of the movie that it shouldn't have happened?
No,
That he
well,
should-
so
that he cheated to get in.
it's touching, and its repercussions from, I think it might have been World War One, or maybe World War Two. I think it might have even been Pearl Harbor, where there was, I think, 4 brothers on the same ship, and they were all killed at once. Now I can't remember if that was World War One or World War Two, where a ship was sunk.
Harbor's World War II. That's
Well,
what.
Paul-
Yeah, no,
yeah,
but
Pearl
I couldn't
Harbor's World
remember.
War II,
I couldn't
yeah.
remember whether it was a ship that was sunk in either World War One or whether it was during World War.
Oh, there's
Pearl
the
Harbor.
Lusitania as well.
Yeah. So, and there was 4 brothers on the same ship, posted to the same ship, and that's where the American army said, and I think most armies said, right, no more. This won't happen. Where if you're in the same family, you don't go on the same. You don't get posted to the same location ship, etc.
We'll send you to death, but not at the same time.
Yeah. And but
Well, it's
see,
in order
the
because
thing
they-
is,
it's an
those
optics
those those sorts of that sort of thinking happens now, even to the point with volunteer services. Okay, where it's very rare that you'll have the same people in a truck together or posted at the same place for that reason. That if that particular asset or unit, etc., gets destroyed or wiped out or attacked, you have the potential to lose a whole generation, essentially. So, and
The whole
it's
family
very
line.
yeah. So,
And that's an optics thing, right, Vinno? That was the whole idea. If people start seeing that their whole family lines are getting wiped out, they're not going to want to send their kids to the war.
well, you see it after
So-
the D-Day landings. You see, it pans to all the bodies on the beach, and it crosses over that body that's got Ryan written on it, and that's where it starts the whole storyline for that.
That's his
Where
brother.
that unit, yeah, that's they go and search for Private Ryan. So there's a lot of, even though it's fictional to a degree, there's
It's
a
a
lot of
summary,
serious
isn't it?
undertones, and there's an explanation for a lot of things, isn't there? So it's a very powerful movie, and if you watch it in with the right knowledge or prior knowledge to the events surrounding it, it paints a different picture as well. So
Even just from a cinema point of view, like I remember when I first saw Saving Private Ryan, it was like surround sound in your home wasn't really a huge thing, and I got to watch it on surround sound, and it was just insane.
yeah,
Like that opening 40 minutes with proper good cinema sound was just next level.
even without
what they
sound.
did,
So
yeah.
if you try, and I'll challenge you to try this. If you watch that with no sound, right, and you just watch that from the aspect that you've lost your hearing.
But they do
Okay,
that.
they do that.
They do that in the intro.
They
They
do
lose.
that, but if you watch-
you're listening
if you
to
watch
from
that
it,
whole thing,
from
right?
Tom Hanks.
So one of the crazy things that can happen when you're in a similar situation or a life and death situation is the adrenaline is so powerful that
Your hearing blocks out.
it can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Didn't his
cases it has
eardrums?
done.
Something happened, didn't it?
There
from the
was,
bomb?
because there's
and that
an
puts you
explosion
silent.
and that puts a ring through it, right? But if you can watch that without sound, and it still has a very powerful impact, especially the scene or the part where the
Holding his
bloke's,
own his body part.
searching for his arm,
Yeah.
and he picks it up.
Yeah.
So you've got all that gunfire, and he's in a very dangerous situation.
Disoriented. Yeah.
But he's so disorientated, and he's so fixated on, I've lost my arm, I've got to find
Getting
my
the arm back.
Yeah, and that just shows what it is like to be in a very dangerous situation where your mortality is questioned, and sometimes the most dangerous things seem like the most trivial, and it's just a very interesting take.
And the
on
plan
something.
is gone. Like you
yeah.
have to.
In a
say that the
situation where
first
that man
casualty
should be
of war
looking
is
for
the plan.
cover or
Yeah.
seeking shelter, he's occupied with, I need to find my arm, and I don't really give a fuck about what's going on around me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, and that's right. That's because
Your priorities kick in.
so many
Yeah.
things,
Do you know what I mean?
adrenaline kicks in, shock kicks in. Shock is a kind of a thing, right? Whether you've witnessed even a minimal amount of shock, where it might just be, oh shit, my leg's bleeding, to the point that everything around you is just completely irrelevant because shock has taken over. You don't even realise it until you look back on it later. And it can, yeah, I'll just say it's a kind of thing
To
right?
me-
because
To me, that's why we say lest we forget.
that's
because
right. Yeah,
It's not about, oh, let's remember this war. It's like, let's fucking remember what we put these people through.
that's right.
If we're gonna do this is, lest we forget, is the human aspect of it. It's the weight of, if we're gonna do this, let's have it done for the right reasons. Like, if we're gonna put our people through hell, literal hell,
Yeah.
So
One of the things that
yeah.
I constantly ask myself, because I, just out of pure interest, I've done a lot of research in
Sorry,
regards
brother.
to World War II, World War One, and then those sorts of conflicts. Which is why last week my attention was drawn, and for a few weeks prior, it's been led towards the Ukraine crisis and those sorts of things.
Europe
One
again.
of the questions that I constantly ask is why. What's it worth, and why are we doing this? And it's the old saying that the poor go to fight a rich man's war, right? But I look at D-Day or Saving Private Ryan, that opening scene. You can relate that to our Anzacs over that period, because the plan went to shit on that day as well.
100%. Yep.
And
We should not.
time and time again, we've had people put in this position where they've gone to war, they've died, and for what? Because the result is the same. It's just nothing but destruction and heartache. And yes, you could argue in a lot of aspects that there has been a lot of steps forward and leaps forward in regards to medical progress and those sorts of things out of World War II. But have they been worth it? Have they been worth the destruction that's been caused and the loss of life and etc.? So that's why Saving Private Ryan, I suppose, for me is a big statement, or is a strong movie. And I might be looking into it a bit too much for some people in entertainment value, because it's a perfectly good,
serious shit.
It's a perfectly good depiction of the extremes that we've all had to
humanity.
go to. Not us, but our forefathers.
It humanise these conflicts that we glorify these things.
Well, you can read about it. You can read about it. You can get told about it in history lessons and classes and those sorts of things. But that was the first time it was strongly depicted accurately, to the point where, as we mentioned, World War II veterans were having flashbacks and smelling diesel and leaving.
That's right. They had to leave. They're like, they were brought back.
Yeah.
Through a fucking... Is it Spielberg did Saving Private Ryan?
Yeah, 100% it was Spielberg.
What a dude, man.
Tom Hanks and Spielberg.
He fucking got war. He got the power of that shit.
Yeah. Spielberg just got...
I'll say,
moved.
Why do we do it?
You
said
things,
why.
Man.
Why do we do it?
Fucking... And even dinosaurs he got. But Vinno, you were like, why?
Wait, I'm going to say...
You look at... They try and
shocked.
fucking... Go on.
No, I don't want to... No, because you were going in another tangent.
Why are you shocked?
Not one person had Jurassic Park.
I was thinking of it.
Hey,
because
listen,
that was
this
a
is
fucking... I did
list
think
one.
of Jurassic Park, the
This
first
is only
movie.
list one.
But here, we can get
Just
back to that. That
speaking-
can be in
speaking of
our
Spielberg,
action,
but yeah.
adventure, top 7 actions. We can get that in there. We'll fight whoever gets that one. But, Vinno, I always think of that. Why? Why are we doing... Like, it makes you think. So, in lyrics of songs, like Mark Knopfler and Brothers in Arms, he says, we're fools to make war on our brothers in arms. And they talk about, like, what war means. It's old men start wars for young men to die, and that's a ill Bill lyric. Metallica, for a hill men would kill, why did you not know? Like that's why we do it, because we want that hill. That's what it's about. And that's why you send little kids, you send kids to die for a hill.
Yeah.
And it may not seem like a lot, but in war, that's what you're fighting for. You're fighting for land. You're fighting to occupy territory. But lest we forget, to me, is not lest we forget the battle that won this territory. It's the true cost of war, which is us and our granddads, our great granddads, our grandkids.
And that's the thing, man.
Lest we forget, to me, is a sacrifice. I mean,
yeah.
And thank fuck, I've never been put in a position where I've got to run directly at a motherfucker who's wanting to kill me. And
With a bayonet.
With a bayonet.
If we talk about the Anzacs.
Right? And if you're saying lest we forget, let's never forget that sacrifice, that bravery, that courage, that sheer determination to serve a greater cause than yourself to be willing to do that. And that's, for me, that's what lest we forget means. And I didn't mean to make a very dark end.
No, it's
to
a
the
good
episode.
ending.
No, I think it is a good ending.
The power of
Because
cinema.
it is a powerful, the power of cinema, like Dave said. Some of my favourite TV series are those because it depicts that and it shows a different side, and I enjoy that. So Band of Brothers, when we're talking about TV series of all time, Band of Brothers is my favourite.
My dad made me got that it was a steel tin box set of Band of Brothers, and that was his when I can't remember what it was, but it was a Christmas present. I was like, "What do you want for Christmas?" He's like, "Get me Band of Brothers," because he'd watched it when it was on, and that's his shit. You know what I mean? Like, he loved that, and he's bet into all army shit, been a soldier and all. But lest we forget, everybody, like, soldiers aren't political. That's what I like to separate the politics from a soldier, because a soldier, they're just the people, they're us, that put up their hand and said, look, no matter what Australia says to do, we're the ones that are gonna do it. If Australia needs us to defend or attack or whatever, we're not gonna get involved politics wise. We're the soldiers. We're the ones that are standing. If the enemy comes to the gate, we're the ones that walk out.
Cheers to those people.
They're the ones that meet the enemy.
That step
and
up.
Whether it's right or wrong, and wars are political.
100%.
Anyway,
you cannot take it out on them. Our soldiers came back from Vietnam, which they shouldn't have been sent to, and they were spat upon. There is Korea, Afghanistan, Iraq, you name it, and they were sent to wars that you can argue about they shouldn't have been. But don't you fucking dare attack soldiers for the wars that we put them in. Civilians send soldiers to wars. Politicians do. They just make do with what the mission is, and for fuck's sake they did. Especially when we talk about Anzacs, man, running through a hail of gunfire with a bayonet. Lest we forget.
Anyway, lest we forget. All right.
This is our movies episode.
I think that's a good place to end it. I really do.
Look, it's
right in the 3.5 hour mark.
That's episode 4 with our movies. So look, if you haven't seen any of the movies that we've mentioned, please get on there and have a look. I know I'm going to have a look at a couple, rewatch maybe some, but if you've got some that you want to talk about, if you want to come on, and when we do this next time, jump on there and have a chat to us, because we love to have guests on here. We love to talk to people. We love to have people that have got a different aspect. We want to get. We're going to do more of these, not just movies, not just music.
Yeah,
there's going to be a lot of things.
Put your hand up
that we do. But if you want to be involved in the next movies one, you know where to get us. So thanks again. I've been Vinno. This is Reece and Dave. We are your team Fireside Yarn.